Hello. Yeah. I have it this time. I have the water, so we're all good there. Crisis averted. Oh, but I need to get the control. Oh my gosh. I am not on my game today. I'm just missing so many things. I need to be grabbing nonsense. Things on. Go, so you're on. You're powered. I don't know if you're powered on fully, so I'm gonna keep you plugged into the controller for now. And Head has gone fishing for their... Head has gone fishing. Oh, excuse me. And then slap you over there. There we go. Slap this over here just so I can see it. Alrighty. The wheel. Did you get the wheel? I missed it. I didn't see if you got the wheel or not. Big Mama Pickle. I love it. Maybe it's because you've played so much of this now. Maybe it's because you've played so much of this now, Het, that like unfortunately you've gotten like too high in rarity or something like that. Maybe that's what's happened. Maybe that's the falling off bit, is that like unfortunately because of all the great pulls you've been doing with your fishing and shit, you're unable to get like a tire. You now have to make do with the fact you will keep fishing. Understandable. Hopefully you'll get it. I reckon with enough perseverance and collecting enough channel points, you will find a way. Hi there, Omega. Omega, welcome. So yeah, thank you, Nux, for... I saw your meep. You were there before I even started streaming, but Sir Dragon nabbed that first redeem from you, which was absolutely funny. So good on Sir Dragon for doing... Come on, you can... There we go. Good on Sir Dragon for doing that. Absolutely fantastic. We got Squeesh. Hello, Squeesh. And yeah, Het and then Omega. Welcome. So yeah, I'm gonna be real. I don't know who it was. It was someone on stream. I can't remember the name of it, but basically I had complained about my back being sore, but it's only sore when I wake up from like, you know, at the start of the day and what have you. It doesn't hurt like, you know, at the end of the day unless I've done nothing to like alleviate the pain from the morning and such like that. But basically, if I go to sleep, there is a strong possibility that I will wake up in the morning with a sore back. It is annoying because what that means is that if I decide to be lazy and relax, I don't actually relax. My body decides to do something that will tense up my shoulders and my upper back and shit like that. Now, someone in chat was like, oh, hey, maybe you should like sleep on a wedge pillow or something like that to alleviate the pressure. I tried that. It did not work. I've done it like for 2 nights. I tried doing like the wedge pillow. I tried doing the wedge pillow like on its own. I tried the wedge pillow with like another pillow on top to try and do a little more on the neck craning, but you know, neither case worked, unfortunately, which is a real big problem. I have like no idea what the fuck is going on with my back, and the way my girlfriend Artemis has described my bed doesn't lead me to believe that I have like a poor mattress or anything like that, which is really annoying. I have no idea why that is being the why I'm having these issues. It's really not on, because I want to be able to like relax and sleep in on my weekend and all that kind of nonsense. But if they're doing a if they're doing a thing where if my back is doing a thing where it's just like, nah, we can't relax, we're gonna tense up and you're gonna be sore in the morning, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to fix that. And it's gonna be even worse because next week I'm supposed to be camping with my girlfriend. Next week we're gonna be like neither of us are gonna be sleeping in like, you know, a lovely queen size bed with like lots of pillows and you know, great springy cushion. Instead, we're gonna be camping out north and like, you know, being on an air mattress and such. Which I like. It's great that we're gonna be on an air mattress rather than on the floor. But let me tell you, it is always going to be a downgrade. And normally my body would try and do its best to deal with that downgrade. But now I'm going to be, you know, if I don't solve this back issue in like the next week, I am probably going to have a very shitty few days camping. So yeah, it'll be real unfortunate kind of stuff. Here's good lucks to me. I feel like it's just going to be one of those things where like maybe what I need to do is I just need to not work for the day, go to a massage or a masseuse and just be like, "Hey, I need you to focus on my back and I need you to like squeeze out all of the wrong things. I need you to give me every crack, pop and strain that you can, so then that way I'm like super limber and shit." And then you need to tell me like what I should be doing in order to improve my my upper back and what have you. It probably doesn't help as well that with my 3 screens, I never look over to this side here, which is where the computer is. I'm always looking over here instead. Texas barbecue chicken or Jamaican jerk chicken? Texas barbecue chicken, Masonic. I have no context for why we are debating one of these 2 chickens, but we're gonna go with the Texas barbecue because I feel like that's the one I'm kind of familiar with. I don't know what Jamaican jerk chicken is, and I feel like
emotional damage.
Hi there, Blue. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. How was Pokemon Platinum with your girlfriend? You were playing Pokemon with your girlfriend. I haven't yet played video games with my girlfriend yet. One day I will. One day, like now that she's got the Nintendo Switch 2 and a gaming laptop, she killed your plant. Darn. Wait, which plant was this? No, not the bald Masonic. Ah! What plant? What plant was, ow, what plant was killed? I am not familiar with your Pokemon Platinum, unfortunately, because Tuesday nights are normally my trivia night, or I'm hanging out with my girlfriend watching movies. Don't Nibiru my guests! This isn't your, what are you doing Nibiruing my guests here? Just throwing a fucking Nibiru. Victory Bell. I thought you would have. I thought when you were talking about your plant, you were talking about like the one that's like the Skidoo or whatever it's called. They Nibiru'd me first. But yeah. Hi. So yeah. Where was I? My train of thought. I had thoughts in my head. I had thoughts. I had dreams. I had a great many things. I had a great many things. If I can move, all right. Okay, why won't it move the thing? This is annoying. I have a program for like, you know, sharing the signal and what have you, but for whatever reason, like, it doesn't like me doing, like, the alt, like, Windows key and, like, moving it around and all that kind of bullshit. You forgot to add me to your title. Where are you at? What do you mean forgot to add you to your, to Furries playing... Sorry, here we go. You weren't live. Let me do a thingy-madiggy, alright? Like, if you were live streaming, we'd do like a little collab thing, and then that way, like, it would look like we were both streaming at the same time, and it would say, like, you know, what, they would have, like, whatever my title is with Blue Foxy and Icy Icy, and then you would be streaming as well, and it would say, with GrantZeebs. Can you nom Icy? You cannot nom my guest, okay? That is The only time I have heard of the game you're gonna play is from when friend Mizuki played it. This is a collab, mate. Yeah, so we'd use collaboration tools, wouldn't we? If you were online streaming, we would actually. You know what? Let me see what happens if I try and let me do a stream together. Let me see what stream only supports Chrome and Firefox now. We're expanding access to more. I had. God fucking damn this system. I am so annoyed with the way. Hey, who stole my shirt? I can't see who stole my shirt. Was it Artemis? It was Artemis. I'm catching on to your tricks. I'm catching on to your tricks, Artemis. You want me to stream during my 5-day schedule to make it 6?
Would it hurt? Would it be a surprise? Would your viewers be going into your stream and going, this is not fair? I plan for Blue Foxy Nicey Icy to stream on these days. It is totally unfair that I get a notification from my favorite Foxy streamer that they are streaming on this day. Do you think your viewers are going to be like that? Let me see what okay, so yeah. Annoyingly, I can't do stream together from Microsoft Edge. Google Chrome, I have not been a huge fan of in recent days because it's been fucking up the performance for whatever reason. So I've actually been trying to transition over to using the blah 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 blah. I've been transitioning over to Microsoft Edge for all of my browsing sake because I'll be frank with you, it's a Chromium tab. It's a Chromium browser. Stream together is so annoying to set up. It is a little bit annoying to set up, but I love that we're able to do the blah 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 blah. Come on, Chrome, stop being a baby. Stop being a baby and let me work you, okay? Like, why are you being so difficult? Also, why do I have so many tabs of X open? Let me minimize you. All right. And then grab you. There we go. There's notifications for my channel and notifications for me. All right. Invite guest. If I invite Blue Foxy Nicey Icy, is it going to be annoyed with the fact that I'm trying to invite someone that isn't even, like, people are suggesting Brave? All of these are really good, but Twitch Stream Together only supports Firefox and Google Chrome. It will just deny you if you're on a different browser, which I think is really bullshit. If you can get it working on Edge and Safari, you can get it working on every browser. I don't know why they have to be so difficult. Ding. So you're waiting. I jump in and I see this. My girlfriend and Omega are perverts. They are fiends. Artemis steals my shirt, and then Omega is just like, you know what would be really sexy? A honkin' Zeebs holding a cookie out with honking muscles. Like, look at this. So, I can't fault them though. Lord knows I'm a pervert. So yeah. Oh my god, the fondling. I love how fondling was a word I had to, like, you know, allow. There he is. There's the Blue Foxy Nicey Icy. Now that he's in the thingy-majiggy, I can start a shared chat. Some streamers aren't live yet. Streamers can join once they are live on Twitch. Cool. Awesome. Now, ideally, now that Blue Foxy Nicey Icy is in the stream together thing, we should now see his, like, little thingy-majiggies in the, yeah, there we go. GrantZeebs with Blue Foxy Nicey Icy. 2 furries playing River City Girls 2. Two furries living in 2 different states of Australia in 2 different time zones.
Hello!
Playing on the Nintendo Switch 2, playing River City Girls 2. Hopefully that works. Also, is Blue expecting me to chat with them via the stream together thing? I should maybe unmute myself and see what happens. Unmuting my audio, unmuting my mic, and seeing what happens. He's got... Yeah, I know, that's what happens. But yeah, so... Yeah, no, it's the Chrome isn't gonna be because the way I set up my thingamajiggy, it won't go, like, the Chrome outputs won't go into the stream, so you'll have to... This is why I always do, like, Discord join-ins. So, you just leave this thing in the background, like, with the microphone and the audio muted, and then you join via Discord. I don't know if you're saying anything because I've muted my audio, so hopefully I'll see you in my Discord shortly. You're damn proud of it. Blue Foxy Crumpy Dumpy. Look, thingamajig isn't like the only word that I have, okay? I got thingamajig, I got whatsamahoosit, I got
Double
thingamabob.
rations, great.
Yay, look, there he is. Look, there's Blue. That's Blue Foxy Nicey Icy. And look at him, he looks so sad. He looks like he's crying. Don't you have like a cool, like, you know, ready to anime fight Blue Foxy Nicey Icy?
I don't have the funds.
What are you talking about? You've got the one where it's you, like, you know, I got you on my poster where you're grinning and you're like, you're sneering and you're just like, ah.
What, you want me to go full persona? Freaking, that's my persona.
Oh, that works well because we're going to be going and playing a game that might be like Persona. I don't know.
I do like the fact that when you go via region, right? You got Asia, Australia, Canada, Europe, India, Japan, Russia, Russia East, South Africa, South America, South Korea, US East, US West, and then best region.
Well, we want to be in best region, right?
Yeah, or just auto pick.
Yeah, alrighty then. And then you go, it's a private thing, a normal friendly fire is off, going into story mode. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, now look at you. Now you look like you're in an anime, like you're ready to go into a fighting thing, like Kill la Kill, or what's the one where the people with the superpowered clothing and yet somehow they're all scantily clad? What's that one called?
That's Kill la Kill.
Oh,
You just said
cool.
it.
Okay, I was thinking.
You're thinking of also Gurren Lagann.
That too. So yeah, you look like you're in that sort of a fashion. Alright, so we can be Misako, Kyoko, Kurino, and Ricky. I feel like
Wow.
Ricky's the odd one out because of the fucking, like, and then it could have been Rico or something like that. Like, everyone's got a O at the end. Like, you've got Ko, Io, like, why can you make me Rikio?
Hey, it's meant to be all Japanese,
Oh my
alright?
god, there's a Jimmy and a Billy?
Yeah, that's Double Dragons.
You have to
That's a double.
get DLC, okay. Well, I'm
gotta
gonna go
pay
with
for that.
Ricky, because Ricky has that hairstyle. Like, there's no Afro anime character, unfortunately, so I'm gonna go with the one where it has, like, the faux, like, mohawk thing, where it's, like, so it's shaved sides and unkempt at the top. Very similar to me, GrantZeebs.
Well, sadly, we do not have access to Pruvi and Marion because you gotta play through the game to get them.
Right. Alright.
And then you got Jimmy and... I'm okay, so this is a funny thing in the original Double Dragons game on the NES. So they misspelled Billy's name, so it was Jimmy and Bimmy.
They remind me of Street Fighter, where you have just, you know, Ryu and Ken are just reskins of one another.
Yeah, they pretty much these guys predated Street Fighter, so I wouldn't be surprised that they inspired Ken and Ryu in a sense, because back in the days, side-scrolling beat-em-ups were a thing.
As inspired by Thompson and Thompson from the hit comic series The Adventures of Tintin. You gotta have two white boys that are looking almost perfectly identical and just, you know, doing dumb physical comedy shit. That's like a trope, right? Two white twins.
Two white twins. Freaking, that's like so many things. Like, what is it? There are so many things out there relating to two white twins.
I already got Thompson and Thompson. That's my one. The Adventures of Tintin, as written by
Alright. Ricky.
In my case, I'll be playing as Kyoko.
Nice.
Because that's what I did in my last playthrough, alright? Speaking of River City Girls 1, I played as Kyoko.
Nice. So you are familiar with the River City Girls lore. I have not played this game before. Excuse me.
Let's go get a burger. I'm starving.
So you guys were here the whole time?
Yes, even tough guys need me time.
Whatever. You're treating us to lunch now.
Hey, we didn't agree to that.
Get in, dummy.
Wait, so who is this
Been
lady?
watching you, sis. You really.
So pretty much, she's actually the final boss of the previous game, and we kicked her ass for no apparent reason.
Our beloved
Oh.
father. The man who single-handedly built up the San Wakai Empire from nothing decides to put his daughter in charge of things while he does a short stretch in the local pen. The very shortest of incarceration vacations. And what does this daughter do? She gets her ass handed to her by a pair of teenage girls. Oh, and also allows them to take down our entire syndicate in the process.
And the whole reason those two girls did it
They're
was
schoolgirls.
for no reason.
Yeah. Oh no, they went to find their boyfriends. Legit. They were just beating the shit out of people just to find where their boyfriends are, because no one would give a straight answer and decided violence was the most important thing.
Man, imagine if we had girlfriends that would do that. Just raise Australia to the ground finding us.
Of course, I'm sure he'll fix that.
Exactly.
I gotta be honest. I've been waiting my whole life for you to faceplay.
Yeah, it's a bit insane.
I might
would be
even take a
insane.
selfie to commemorate the moment.
Because, like,
Okay.
Lasley's a bear, right?
No, Leslie's an art.
Okay, Lasley's an otter, which is technically a
Here she is,
predator.
Pop.
And then
Found her in the trash,
my Artemis is a
literally.
snap, a snow
I mean, she
leopard.
was actually lying in a pile of
They're at the
forest.
top of the food chain of their respective environments.
I hate it when you call me that.
Meanwhile, you're just a fox and I'm a zebra.
Daughter, is what your brother says true? Did you bring shame on our family? On our organization? I thought you would be ready. I thought you'd be more reliable than your screw-up brother, Ken. I was wrong! It's time to take matters back into my own hands.
You could just do that whenever, apparently. You think I wouldn't?
Whoa, man.
I reckon you have more sensibility than that. You're a very intelligent snap.
You, but that was bad. Ah, crap. I forgot to take a selfie.
It's a cool art style. I like the
It's
the
late for
manga
class.
panel thing.
It's not my fault.
You were the one who wanted to stop for double chocolate donuts.
Okay, it's sort of my fault.
Oh yeah, I just had to go get double chocolate coated donuts.
They didn't even say it was coated. They just said double chocolate donuts. I reckon they are like it's a jam donut, but instead of filled with jam, it's filled with like a chocolate eclair or something like that, or it's a chocolate baked thing.
Or I think it's actually just a chocolate donut glazed with even more chocolate.
That would work too. I would definitely be down for a chocolate donut with chocolate glaze, though.
Sadly, I'm not against. I'm against this. So pretty much, if you want to know the story, a quick summary of the story for River City Girls. Basically, Misako and Kyoko beat the shit out of everyone just to find their boyfriends, because no one ever thought of saying, "Oh, I don't know where they are. They're probably somewhere else," and instead just say, "Who the hell are you?" And then start the fight. Okay, you pretty much fight a famous fashion designer. You beat up a freaking idol. You go beat up the leader of a freaking syndicate, and you also beat up the student council president.
Nice. I thought you were gonna go in a tirade about like double chocolate donuts, but sure, okay.
Freaking look at these dudes! Freaking they don't look like they belong in bloody high school.
Jesus. Oh, you can't punch him. Okay.
Man,
Oh,
what
you
an
can punch this guy.
absolute unit. Oh, so you're gonna attack the scrawny people.
I look like a degenerate. Look at me. I got shaved sides.
And me, I just look like a typical bimbo.
All these lockers are in the way. Stupid lockers.
Press B to do it again, and then press with a wall with B, then press B again to leap off the wall and get even
So
higher.
jump over them.
Oh yeah, I forgot that's a thing we can do. How do we
Gotta
get
grab that
past
book.
It's way high up there.
You need to run
How do
and
you-
jump off the wall.
What do I look like, some poor
Oh yeah, you
Oh,
also
okay,
gotta
so
look
you gotta
at.
do it from here.
Trying to save.
Yeah, remember we're playing with a sort of isometric view.
Oh, damn it. I
That's
wanted
my
to try-
book now.
I wanted to get the book.
Okay, you can grab whatever the next thing is later.
Alrighty.
So, me, I'm not exactly good with fighting games. Okay,
Uh-huh.
it's something that I don't have enough time to invest in learning.
Didn't you once just spend a summer playing all the Mario Party games and getting an expert level on them?
Woo!
This
Woo!
man refuses to answer this very clear question. All right. There we go. Ow.
Getting hit by gum. I will say though, trying to guard while getting up is probably not the best thing. You usually just want to dodge and then prepare to guard. It has that old-fashioned vibe of it slightly being delayed. It
Yeah.
plays on the old games. What is freaking JoJo posing as you guard? Also, let me help you out a bit.
No, I wanted to practice my parrying, okay?
Freaking, how much freaking liquids are coming out of your bloody eyes?
He has to, he needs all that liquid so he can like create the spitballs as quick as possible.
But you get it from your mouth.
Megumi.
What were you children doing out of class? Did you not hear the bell?
No, but that's probably because we got here after it rang. We're like super late today.
That's not helping.
Hurry to your
Give me
desk.
too much
and
credit.
watch
I have
your
threatened to bitch
friends.
slap everyone in the
Keep it in
bestie city
mind.
because they are being dicks to them. Only thing stopping me is the price to
That's what
fly.
I Are you questioning me?
Ah, yes. The only reason you're not a threat to
Hours in the
Blue and to
principal's
Jack is because you can't
No, we're
fly
good.
directly to
One
them.
of us just has cheese in it.
Thank goodness.
I'm a very messy eater.
You won't be late next time, Miss Megumi.
Oh, I'm sure of it, children.
I like how you're allowed to wear that to class.
Yeah, it's just, you know, I'm wearing the school uniform. It's just how I'm wearing it is a question.
Tardiness
Why would I be a
won't
threat to
tolerate.
Blue and Jack?
It's gonna be 1
To
week
give him
detention.
affection.
What?
And to also slap him
fair.
and counter for them
This
slapping
guy
me.
anyway.
Talking
I didn't
back to
slap
the
you.
teacher.
Yeah, but I get threats. I get threats from
do
Blue
that.
and Jack all the fucking
Just wanted
time.
donuts.
I can do
Because you make us suffer to a bloody Super Saiyan monkey.
It has been months since we've had to deal with Rajang, okay? We have had to deal with bigger problems from you, like Gogmazios and shit like that. I
Honestly-
merely allude to the idea of, wouldn't it be funny if we got another monkey in Monster Hunter Wilds? And you are absolutely against that idea.
Nope.
I got distracted.
All
What
right.
happened?
We got sent.
Ah, okay. River City High School.
Well, at least we finished the school stage quicker this time.
What do you mean?
Nothing. Attempt at meta humor.
Something super weird is going on at this school. Like, more than usual, I mean.
No doubt. Should we find out what's up?
That sounds exhausting.
Yeah, I'm getting that sense.
Let's go back to my place. Maybe if we play some video games, we'll think of a solution.
Brilliant.
Let's play some video games.
2 months later. This would be you and I if we were in the same high school.
Hey, kids.
Just
How's
nothing
your
but video
week
games for 2
going?
months.
Right, Mom?
Don't miss that power-up.
Right, got it. Were you two planning on taking a break sometime this month?
Why bother?
Yeah, those crummy Yakuza took over our school.
No point ever going back there.
Well, I did hear a sequel to Vampire Puncher was just released.
What?
This morning, in fact. That game store at the mall should have a few copies.
And here we are, still playing the original like a pair of chumps.
Yeah, everyone knows that sequels are always better.
Let's get to the mall before they sell out.
Have fun,
Yeah,
kids.
like
Try
Star
not to
Wars,
kill
The Empire
anyone.
Strikes Back, or Mass Effect 2, or World War II. Wait, no, hang on, that might not be a good sequel.
Okay. Well, this does also add a bit of canonic reason why we lost our moveset and XP. We spent 2 months playing video games on the bloody couch that we lost our ability to do a lot of things.
Oh yeah, and that's storage. Cool. Awesome. Alright.
Don't mind me. Really? You're just gonna walk around destroying my furniture?
No, that's my furniture. This is my safe game. This is a hideout where you'll be safe. You'll respawn here. You can regroup here to swap characters and change settings. You'll refill some stamina when you return.
I will also say this. I'm hoping to figure out if there's any references, because the last game had Jacksepticeye and the Game Grumps. I'm pretty sure there's other content creators too.
Okay, alright. It's been a while since I've seen, like, YouTube, like, video game content creators in a while. I've been getting into a lot of essay stuff, really. Yep, cool,
I'm gonna stomp on your head!
Oh, I pressed the button.
Oh, are you okay there? You make sure you stomp on them.
Ow.
You alright there?
Yep.
Alright, who else wants a beating?
Get our game, then get back here as fast as possible.
Ugh, can we maybe not do the fast part? My tummy doesn't feel so hot.
Yeah, my need.
Alright, you learn how to pick up a weapon.
Maybe we shouldn't have sat on the couch for 2 months straight. My previous XP.
Or ate all that junk food.
I can't even remember how to fight. Guess we'll have to relearn everything.
Learn? Ugh,
Okay, this is weird that they have us, like,
to learn anymore?
able to go... Ooh, hello. Ah, damn it, you already picked it up.
I got a yo-yo.
Nice.
Ah! I will say that the yo-yo is freaking funny to use.
Sometimes an enemy will become dizzy after being attacked. Walk into them to grab the enemy, then throw or attack them with X and Y.
Hiya! It's okay, I have a bench! I have a bench! I feel like Kiryu right now.
Ooh, baseball.
You probably want to jump onto it. Is there actually anything up there? No, I don't see it.
I feel like there would be. Hang on.
I do at least like the idea that you got your own POV and I got my own POV.
Oh, so you're not
So we
like
don't-
locked in like earlier Lego games.
Yeah, so pretty much you get to move freely, I get to move freely.
Alright. Chapel Avenue, we got... Ooh, we got a dojo.
Ugh. So,
Practice combos on the helpless dojo cat. Alright.
kill him! Okay, not me! Well,
Oh,
wow.
okay, I see.
Well, the bit. Well, here's the thing though, we don't have much of a move set at the moment, so. Okay, just freaking punch his freaking balls, I guess. Alright, you can grab him. I'll let.
Oh, damn it.
I just, because I know how to grab.
Yeah, I still don't have that down pat yet. Hang on.
Well, I'm just gonna say this, everyone. He ain't having children.
Come on. There we go. All right, so I have to walk into him. There we go.
Yep. And then, depending on what button you press, you go nuts. Are you winning, sons? I am.
Hi, Leslie.
I think I'm winning.
Hi.
How you doing, Leslie? Oh! Get out of my face! Oh my god. Okay, I am not doing so well.
Once again, I pressed the left bumper instead of the right bumper for blocks and what have you.
I think you can rebind. I think you can. I need some help because I am about to die to one hit. Okay, that's not good.
When the other dies, you can revive them quickly by attacking their body before their angel gets away. Okay, so that's what I need to do.
So heavy attack.
Oh, walk into them to grab them, press left trigger or right trigger to recruit. Damn it, I didn't. New move, Shadow. Oh, cool.
I'll probably spawn in the next area.
Okay, let's see. Is it the next area, or do we have to go back to the house, is the question.
Nah, if it was going back to the house each time, that would be so horrible. Yeah, and then I can join back in.
Alright, cool.
Okay, I need a level up here. Oh my freaking god! Okay, I need a move. Okay, finally, I got one of my freaking moves I need. Okay, of course, attack me, why don't you?
Did you just aura?
Yeah, that's my A.
Oh, hi. Nice running into you two. Where are you
The
heading?
emote is so cute. Yeah, that's Mega's emotes. Mega Arts does a lot of cat emojis. She's like a partner level in Twitch.
We were looking for the game store. Know where
So
it is?
there's like a whole
Video
ton
games
of like
or
emojis in her little
tabletop
forte when you subscribe to her.
You don't need
Ugh,
furniture.
nose.
No, it's like with game boards and D20s and little pewter figures of elves and warriors. I understand maybe 3 of those words. Never mind. Video game store is at the other end of the mall. I'll mark it on your phone.
Thanks. Don't get beat up, okay?
Later, Cowrie.
Nice.
Wait, you guys don't want to hang for a while first? I never want to hang.
Sorry. We got better things we need to do. Your highly addictive social media app, Honker, will give you notifications about missions, quests, and general happenings in River City.
Neat. I got a feel. Okay, so I know that Jacksepticeye did voice a character in the previous game. You could recognize his voice straight away. But I don't know which other YouTubers or content creators would be voicing who knows what. Maybe someone in the chat could help me figure that out.
Hopefully so. We'll see.
Smash to Skullmageddon. Yes, we will do that. I need a bench. Can I stop getting attacked by freaking cheerleaders?
Oh.
Okay. Why did it not let me do that? Okay. Oh god. Okay, I can't see behind the freaking car. All right. Yeah. Okay, get up.
Can I hit the fire? Yeah, I can hit the fire hydrant. Ow.
Wow. Alright, get back in your...
Okay, so I have to hit the person. Okay.
I'm... Couch! I have a couch! Alright, where am I meant to be going? Okay, what does honkers say? Okay, where do I need it? Oh, we need... Okay, so we'll go that way. We'll go to the right.
This way?
Yes.
Ah, okay, I see it, I see it. We're carrying our stuff with us.
Oh my god!
Ah!
Jack should also be in this game as well. Like, they could if they want to. Ugh. This is fine. Oh no! Oh god! Oh! Now I'm down.
Nope.
I'm flying away. I'm heavy attack. Heavy attack. Yeah.
Damn it. Where did you
Go back. Go back. Freaking, I got a feeling that I'm not gonna get revived a lot during
Look,
this
it was difficult, okay? There you are. You're back again.
Oh my god, the Pompadour. Get that. Okay, I might as well get some money.
She hits annoyingly hard.
Oh, it's because we don't have accessories. Freaking, I'm taking so much damage. I don't take so much damage. Oh, I'm already dying again. Alright, heavy attack. Gotta love the fact that you just attacking me just revives me.
Punching in the cooch.
Alright, let's try this again. Okay. Oh my god.
Okay, so the thingamadiggies are directional.
Oh, I leveled up! I freaking full healed on the level up, sweet. Can you... Do you see that? They just went straight for me.
You complain about this in every game we play when there's multiplayer. You're like, oh, they're targeting me. The Rajang is targeting me.
Okay, what did I learn? Okay, so... Okay. Oh, okay, I learned my abusive attacks.
Mongolian Chop is the heavy. Special move is Shadow Clone. Running move is the high elbow. So we got Fatal Step. And then we got the different moves. Okay, cool.
You didn't see anything!
What? I didn't realize that was an option. to like go behind the fence like that.
Oh, you can jump around, like... Get out of here. Oh, who the heck are you? That's it. Yeah, that's right. Freaking, I am not dealing with your nonsense. There's a shovel. Actually, I'll let you grab the apple. You're dying.
Thank you.
I do want to check out the
Convenience store?
combini.
What you need?
Eating a consumable will earn you a permanent stat boost the first time it's eaten. You can eat them in the shop or save them for later. Ah, okay, so if we eat them now, we get a bonus. Alright, so...
So, it cost me $7 for a freaking thing of chips.
Yeah, that sounds like Australian pricing at the 7-Eleven.
Attack... You know what? I'm just gonna...
Okay.
I'll eat it now. I'll buy this, but store it. I'll buy the...
I ate the potato chips and the bacon rod.
Drop by anytime.
Freaking, this guy doesn't look like he wants to work at his job.
The quick item select tool at the top allows you to eat an item on the go. Use the right thumbstick to select through items. Press in R to eat.
Oh, good. They actually fixed that. Oh my god! Leave me alone! Oh my god, he has a tail.
All the good furries do.
Well, attacking... Okay, maybe falling into the pit was not part of my plan.
Wait, can you fall in the pit? Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, so you want to check behind the convenience store?
Yeah. We gotta
Well,
explore.
doesn't hurt
This
to
is a
explore.
side scroller, but it also has some RPG elements in it.
Yeah. Get. I'm. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna recruit you, man. What are you doing?
Oh, sorry.
Oh my god. We can recruit them, remember?
I forgot.
No, I don't think we can, you know, destroy the car.
Aw, what a shame. Could have been good. Could have been like Street Fighter 2, where like you just start punching up a Nissan.
Okay, looks like we can't access that place yet.
Alrighty then. Dun, 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 dun.
Like, this game actually has a good soundtrack. Like, because I bought the
does.
physical.
Real classic
I got
stuff.
I got the CD soundtrack for it.
Oh.
Ah! I need this. I need this. I find that attacking with weapons is more abusive. Oh, get in the hole. Oh, sweet. I have a dodge.
Hey, you can pick up apples and things.
Oh, great. I have a comedic fan.
I think
Ooh,
pretty
what's
sure
this?
that's just a normal fan. Pretty sure that's just a normal fan, Blue.
Give me a B! Give me a U!
Oh, okay.
Give me your money!
Give me your money!
$20 for a Sunday?
Once again, the economy is just hitting us real bad. We used to live in a society, Blue, where burgers were 50 cents. Remember that, chat? Well, I don't remember that time, but maybe there's some old boomer in my chat right now that's just like, back in my day, I just needed 2 months of honest work to save for a deposit for a home, and hamburgers were a cheap man's food, and it was done in the back of a McDonald's.
Oh my god. I do need to buff my stats.
Yeah, so when you eat things, like for the first time, like it will buff it.
Luck up. Okay, so this place here is the dojo. You just spend money to buy new moves.
Ah, okay. Well, I'm gonna save my monies.
Alright, I got it. I got a rubbish bin.
Is there anything behind the sign? No, there isn't. Okay. Alright.
Typical side-scrolling action, just gotta... Where am I? Ow. Okay, okay. Come on. Okay, thanks for your money. Oh.
All good, all good. I did that to you too.
All is fair. I gotta love the touch of, you know, the freaking shoes on the cabling. Wait, what?
I thought you could pick up the shoes, honestly.
Huh? What the frick? Wait, come up here. Come up here.
Ow.
Maybe don't throw a bicycle at yourself. You might want to jump up first and then jump down. Yeah, you gotta. It's. Yep. And then go up here. You can hear something.
I thought I could hear something. Like, I fell then immediately, though.
There is someone singing while taking a shower. Oh, yeah! Freaking bicycle chains! I'm gonna lacerate. Okay, that's not going to plan. Okay, fell down. Okay. Okay, give myself some strength. Ow, I'm being sent. What the heck is going on?
There we go.
Yep, I picked up the apple. I needed that. Okay. Take this, vending machine! Just so you know, beating up actual vending machines was not a good way of getting stuff. That's how you get yourself killed.
Nah. Only when you try tipping them do you get killed. General punches are fine. Fuck you, Pompadour. Ow.
Oi, freaking get out of here. Woo! Oh, wait. Oh.
There we go.
Oh, you recruited him.
Yep, with the left trigger.
Now you
Combing
can-
hair
you can-
with the right trigger X.
Oh, you got some new moves at the dojo. Oh, what's
the-
this place? What the heck is that?
I don't know. What's this place?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. What?
If you're hungry.
Salmon nigiri, $16. Yeah, that's not-
16.50 for? Oh my god,
Something
that's
else?
expensive. I will take it though.
Would have loved tempura. God,
I would
there's just so much stuff I would love to eat.
Oh, don't worry, there is a burger place in this game. I know
Oh,
for
hell
sure.
yeah.
Like in the previous game, there was like a burger place. Alright, okay, I'll just... Who the heck are you? Okay. Okay, oh no, he's on the bin! What the heck? Get sent. Don't mind me, I'm just doing normal things that Smash players do. Which is abuse things.
Oh, hey! You two heading inside the mall?
Stranger danger!
Calm down.
Oh, you're in the middle of batting this
The
man.
gang apparently took over all the stores.
Even the fashion stores?
We're here for a video game, remember?
Even the video game store?
I guess. Never stopped there, but they got that whole mall locked down.
Also, I just realized he's wearing heart-shaped
Yeah, they look like you two could use
boxers.
some protection.
He is a boxer, from what I can tell.
Yeah, but like he's wearing like boxer briefs, like not boxer
Well, if you need another pair of
shorts.
fists and you got the drop by any
It looks
time.
like boxer
I'll let you clear that
briefs
whole
than
plate
shorts
so
in
y'all
my
can
head
discuss.
because of the love hearts.
Well, keep it in mind.
Alright, you better grab that apple.
Hired henchmen are stronger recruits that cost money. If you're a henchman, you'll have to hire them again.
I don't feel like hiring him.
Burgers!
Go straight into the burger place. I don't think I can afford a burger.
I can't. I can get fries.
More customers. Freaking look at this. Look at these burgers, man.
I will be real with you. $21 for a burger is definitely an Australian pricing. That's not even a joke. That's
a hipster price.
That is a hipster price from Grilled or whatever new place where it's just like two dudes leaving New York financial system to be like, me and my friend Trevor were like, what if we just opened up a burger shop and then just, you know, spent like all this money and made really expensive burgers, which is like bullshit.
Wait, this... Okay, I got my escape move. I'm currently just beating up a guy over here. Okay, oh, wait. Oh, yeah!
Alright, so what were my newest moves?
Freaking chat. I unlocked my other move.
Okay, so Stone Hand is the thing I unlocked. And then Crescent Kick is rapidly pressing.
Boom. And also, here's my escape. This is my escape move.
For a sparring partner? I'm your guy.
What, you want to hire him?
Nah, I just want to know what he would do.
Alright, so these bus stops, right?
Ah, okay, they allow you to go between like places we were before and such. Okay.
Yeah, they're your shortcuts, so that's good. Alright, let's enter the mall.
Uh-huh. We gotta get to a video game store.
That's been overrun with Yakuza. Alright, I'm gonna need this bicycle. Yeah. I know I'm kind of being cheap, but sometimes you just gotta abuse things. Dab. Oi, what the heck? Wet floor.
Ooh, good song.
I do love the soundtracks in this game. I'm currently distracted. Wow, you can't just be throwing benches at people.
I can, as you can see.
Okay.
Man, a timid girl. Polyester candy? What the frick is that?
Candy. It's cotton candy, but polyester as a joke because we're filled with microplastics.
I'll take the melon mints.
Goodbye then.
These are all legally distinct names. It looks like cotton candy, but due to international copyright law, it is not.
You need help? Oh my god, more cops! Okay. What happened to civil discourse? What the... Okay. I didn't even, I just used that bench you threw down to get up.
Ah, okay.
It's okay, I got a way to lacerate them. Yeah, it gets unlocked. Freaking, if I can do this. Yeah, freaking die.
Yakuza in here. Even more than a typical weekend.
Maybe there's a sale. Is it Black Friday?
Yeah, okay. I think we found a strat. We just combo them in the air as much as we can.
Back home.
Fashion doesn't just happen, you know. You have to work at it.
For now, try working at clobbering these henchmen with me.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, fine. I'll beat them up. Human weapon. I'm gonna hit this motherfucker with another motherfucker. How dare you, man? We haven't even fought our first boss yet. Yeah. I'm just gonna... I'm okay.
Real life? Cool.
I'm meant to recruit, but every time they... Ooh, a saxophone. Also, what's this? I might as well check every store, just so we know what we got.
Customers.
Ooh, 2 kinds of accessories. Unfortunately, these are very... A ribbon bra. Could you imagine my character Ricky wearing a ribbon bra? Where he gets a defensive shield?
Heavy eyeshadow. Heavy attacks are even heavier. Deco nails combos can be therapeutic. Okay.
Losers.
Did she just call me a loser? I'm making music. I need that apple.
Oh, hang on.
B, yeah, press B. Yeah.
Here.
Ooh. Okay, another store we can enter, apparently.
Thank you for the follow, Mechs in Hydra. Are there mechs in the Hydra, or are the Hydras in the mechs?
Break anything.
Brought here will be available in your hideout. Ah, okay, cool. Dragon Brothers.
Nice,
I do. Freaking, he's just like, freaking. I got a deal for you.
He's just like
Listen,
trade offer.
It's like the.
Just
like,
call me
listen.
Hydra because this is my preferred name. All good, all good.
By often.
Ugh, that sounded weird when you said come by often.
Maybe I won't. Alright. Ow! Ow! Oh, I got a human weapon! I'm coming! Okay.
I've already used up all my monies. Thank you for
I
the
might as well
random
see
shirt, Hydra. Sorry, it's Mechs in Hydra. Is what you wrote out as your name, but your preferred name is Hydra. I need to remember. You also fought
Okay.
Foxy. Nice.
Bomb bottom. Grabbing money can heal your wounds. Oh my god.
That would be cool, but unfortunately, I don't have the money.
Power mitten. That's a reference to the power glove.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, money can be a bit.
I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, money can be a little bit annoying in this game to get, but. Oh my god! Okay, ow. I don't mean to freaking dab. I need to recruit someone.
I keep forgetting to use my recruit, honestly. I am very simple with the combat, and this is not good for that.
Because the thing is, if you use a recruit, you can use them as a meat shield. Ow. Oh yeah, if you keep hearing that freaking sound effect, that's just me dabbing on them. I gotta remember, I have the ability to move out of the way. Of course, bold is bold zebra.
Welcome to Edwina's. Have a look around.
Can't afford
$24.75 for a boba tea.
Money.
Well,
I'm
taking.
What it was and didn't expect Fat Wolf to be that. Yeah, no, it's a shirt that Fat Wolf made called "Be More Massiver." Fat Wolf made it.
I do.
I have all kinds of shirts, Hydra.
Take this! Alright, freaking... Ooh. Oh my... We need more ways of getting money, man.
It's because you keep taking all the money from the people I defeat.
I am trying to get by in life. Oh my god, that was nice. That was funny. The guy got up and went straight into your bench. Is there anything up here? No, I don't think. Okay. I'm double checking. Are we even going the right way? No, we're meant to go back the other way.
Oh.
To the food court.
Alrighty.
Man, $25 for a bubble tea. That's like highway robbery.
Oh, nice. You can pick them up. Ow. Once again, pressing
Take this, Yakuza freak. This way. Yeah, it's this way.
Oh, okay. 2 stores. I thought that was a store.
I thought it was a store too, but then again, the stores are the ones that have shopping. Oh my god, it's freaking him! Alright, I see that you already decided to unite. Help! It's fine, I'm fine. Venting?
Yep. Ow. Fuck, I tried to...
Ow. No, Wait, venting is... Wait, how do I use venting? No, no. Hold X. Okay.
Charisma hold is a special move.
Interesting.
Next stop, the video game store.
OMG! Look what's playing at the movie theater!
We really shouldn't. Okay, next stop, a movie. Then, the video game store.
Look, the movie! Something!
bad, evil cabin. It's just like that movie with the cabin in the woods. Friday the 13th.
I know, right?
But actually,
Except-
that other cabin in the woods movie called Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Or that other cabin
I know, right?
in the woods movie.
Take the yo-yo man just kept. Yeah, the yo-yo man just kept yo-yoing. Ah! Oh, okay. I vented. I think you need the apple more than me. Okay, I'm actually surviving a lot more. It's just because I needed the extra movesets. Take this. Oh my god, you blocked my dab. Whoa! What was that? Okay, I'm dealing with all these, Okay, he's dead. Alright. Let's go see a movie and then go to the video game store.
Okay, okay.
Usually a movie's like 2 hours, man.
Oh, it's the... Yeah, that guy for the start.
Ken.
Meet again, huh?
Ew, it's that weird teacher from school, the one that expelled us.
And threw us out a window.
Oh yeah, not cool, dude.
The name's Ken, and my father, Sabu, runs this town now.
He's the mayor?
I didn't know we had a mayor.
He's not the mayor. He's the head of the San Wakai criminal organization.
Aren't criminals not supposed to refer to themselves as criminals?
I'm not one for pomp and circumstances.
Pom-poms and circus dances?
You two shamed my family by defeating my embarrassing sister in battle.
Misuzu?
Hibari?
Noise?
Sabuko.
Oh, she was my next guess.
Yeah, mine too.
So now, I've been tasked by my father to humiliate and defeat the two of you in that order. I humiliated you by expelling you from your school.
Is that seriously what you think?
I don't even go to that school.
What's humiliating about getting a 2-month vacation from books and learning?
True that.
Anyway, now it's time to kill you both. Per my, father's plan, which is now unfolding.
I mean, you can try.
But that usually doesn't work out too well for people.
Oh, we shall see.
Proper combos.
Alright. Time to actually fight the boss.
Time to die, kiddos!
Normal strats will not work against this freaking bosses. Oh my god! Oh! Oh! Okay, I did not expect that. Okay, now, oh! I don't remember, I can block these. Oh, wait, no, I can't block it! Alright, freaking step on his balls! What the heck's going on? Oh my god! Come on. Get up! Get! Okay. Get in your body! Okay, I'm out of healing items. Oh my! Oh god, I'm stay here, stay here, stay here, stay here, stay here, stay here.
You're obviously cheating!
No, I'm not. Dude, he's just firing his gun all over the place. Oh my god!
Nope.
Get in there. Okay. Okay, I'm just legit avoiding him when he shoots his freaking gun. Okay, I need a revive.
I remember to do it properly this time.
Oh my god, this guy is... Oh my god. Can you not? Okay, I understand his pattern. Okay, I legit understand his pattern. I'll wait for him to go into the middle and then beat the and then... Oh my god! Ah! Ah! Oh my god, he's doing that thing again. Are you freaking kidding me?
We were so close as well. Reset all new progress since last checkpoint. Respawn.
Go to hideout. Go to hideout. I don't want to lose money, man.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Legit, I was about to jump over. Oh my god.
Okay, I don't have anything in storage.
Oh, we could just recruit randos in there. Interesting.
Yeah, because that's one of my recruits. Oh, he's in the left slot. There we go. So if we get, if we get more recruits, then they'll pop up in there.
Okay, so there's bus stops here, so we can...
No, I want to go through this the long way.
Wait, you want to go through the long way?
Yeah, like we'll get levels and what have
you. I just needed one more hit on that guy, and I would have killed him. Also, we might as well get money.
Exactly.
Okay, if there's no enemies nearby, that's fine. I also gotta remember, I have the ability to just jump out of dodge.
I didn't know that was a thing. What?
Because yours is the hair comb. Mine is backflipping out. You better pick up some money.
Yeah, I've been picking up money.
Okay, is there anything? Take that, water tanks.
So yeah,
how
we'll
do
get
you
plenty
know?
More money, and then hopefully we'll have enough to get like an accessory or something.
I should have had the ability to use up more food items. Get dabbed on. That guy's dead. Okay, you did the same thing that you did before.
I thought I would do something different, but okay.
Alright, I think we go the other way.
Yep.
Yeah, this is the part where we go.
I'm not a fan of having to flick the stick in order to, you know.
I use the
dash.
D-pad. I double tap the D-pad.
Okay. I use the stick. So I'll try the D-pad.
Because I'm treating it as an actual side scroll, so... Ow! Ow.
Once again, pressing the left bumper. I need to change it.
Okay, YB is my lift up combo. Okay, I don't see anyone nearby, so that's fine. You might be able to afford that hamburger.
Maybe.
I might as well also try and get some extra stats somewhere. Like from eating stuff.
Yeah, no, I've been doing it. I've been doing that every step of the way. Anytime we go into the store, I try and eat, like, at least one thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see that you just straight up throw them into the freaking pit.
It's not my fault that they fail.
Buy something.
So I've already eaten these two. I think I've had the Fizzy Fuzz, so I'm gonna get the Turbo Juice as a storage.
Oh no, it'll tell me what I had and what I didn't have.
Oh, does it tell you what you've had and didn't have?
Like, it'll give you the stat bonus of things that,
Lift-off combo is YB. What the? Oops.
You went up.
Ah, because it was right next to the...
Oh my god! Okay. Yeah, just having access to more moves helped me out a lot. We got things to kill, Zeebs.
On my way, on my way. Hi there, Goldie. Thank you for getting up to a 20 stream streak.
Okay, okay. Uncle. Where am I? Is the D-pad helping you out?
About the same, but...
Alright. I would like to recruit someone, if able. I remembered I didn't buy any ice cream, I think.
Give me a B! Give me a U! Give me a Y! Give me your money!
Yeah, it doesn't tell me if I don't think... Did I?
No, you'll see this, if it still has this plus stat there, then you haven't, eaten it yet.
Okay, yep, I see it, I see it.
You might want to save stuff for your burger or whatever.
Yeah, will do.
Hum. Okay, we could go to the dojo if you want to buy new moves. Because there might be something that you'd want in there. I've been slapped. Okay, that's it. Freaking, I gotta show my ferocity. Just so you know, everyone, do not go in around beating up random people for money.
Yeah, it would be a bad idea. Find new moves here to expand your arsenal of attacks. Special moves drain your... Ah, okay, so that's how they work. Alright. Unlocked at level 5 is the acro, flip, heavy, cheap shot. Okay.
Some of them will tell you if it's been unlocked.
Unlocked at level 5, unlocked at level 8.
Yeah, yeah, because some moves are restricted by level first.
Okay.
Ooh, what do I want?
Nah, I don't think I'm gonna buy anything. I am still like I'm one of those weird peeps where it's like if it's a fighting game, like I'm not really too interested in buying new moves. I'm a very simple kind of fighter, okay? Like all the moves in my Pokemon are attack moves, all right? I have no interest in moves that do not provide me with attack moves.
Crescent Kick. I just bought Crescent Kick. Okay, Crescent Kick. Oh, okay, I like Crescent Kick. It actually adds to, it's a part of my free hit combo.
Ah, okay, okay.
Yeah, it's part of my free hit combo. Freaking, okay, that's what I've been missing. Take this, stop sign! Okay. Oh, the way he runs away is weird. Oh, I could have recruited him, but I was in the middle of my combo. Who leaves random volleyballs around?
Kurosuno High with their volleyball team. That's my guess.
That's true. I am smashing vending machines, and I'm only getting apples from them. The cops are attacking me, the Yakuza are attacking me. At least we're not taking as much damage from these guys.
Yep, that's a good thing.
You want to go to the burger place, or you want to hold on to your cat?
Hang on, let's check out the burger place.
Hello, Merv.
More customers. Okay.
I will take the let's see, do I want the fries or do I want the milkshake?
Fine.
I want more attack. That's what I want.
That's all you're going to buy?
This guy just says I look fabulous. Level up. Yep, stun. You're dead. Alright, I should have enough food for the boss fight.
Can you call me what? Why? Have you been a good boy? Ah!
If they're asking you to call them a good boy, I don't think they are a good boy.
Yeah, normally it's one of those things of like good behavior rewards you, not asking. Same reason as like you don't like this isn't a partnership kind of thing. Anyway, brain doesn't have the right words right at this point. Amy's candy is more your speed.
Yeah, but we might as well just... We need accessories, but they're so expensive.
Yeah, you need like at least $200 a lot of the time. Nice.
Yay, level up.
Nice work. Hi there, Code. 2 girls beating up people in Bechai. It's 1 girl and 1 guy. Blue wanted to play the girl.
I played Kyoko in my playthrough.
That's why he wants to play the girl. How's it going, Code? You doing good?
Get freaking vented. Okay, I got sent. Oh, they're dropping more money. Okay, that's actually good.
Over into the sports store.
No, the game is called River City Girls 2, not River City Girls and a Guy. Hey, freaking Zeebs could have played as Jimmy and Billy if we
damn
got
it, I
the
pressed
DLC.
the fucking... Hang on.
Oh my god. Get dabbed on. I will grab this baseball bat that's in a sports store. You mean Jimmy and Bimmy? See? Don't understand.
Ow.
Oh my god. Alright.
You're moving a lot faster now. Alright, let's see how we do
because
this
you
time.
ate that you ate that drink that gives you a temp agility boost. Alright.
The Sabu family's rich boy Yakuza
We
Ken.
meet again, huh?
Ew, it's that weird teacher from school, the one that expelled us.
We already know what this guy said.
Wait, oh, if this is already said?
The name's Ken, and my father, Sabu?
We already went through this before.
Alright, we'll just thingy.
Time to die, kiddos!
Oh, get parried! Get dabbed on! Yes, freaking me buying Crescent Kick is really helpful. Oh god! I'm staying down.
So that's how you want to play it?
Alright, that's... Okay, I think we learned this time, if he's shooting, just avoid him.
Oh, I need you to punch me.
Remember, you can heal yourself. Thanks for the attack boost. What the heck is that?
They're grenades.
Okay, okay. Oh god. Okay, mate. Okay, alright. Okay. Okay, I'm out of healing items. Okay, he...
Ah!
Oh my... Get him in the... Okay, nah. Nah. I'm staying over here. Nah, this...
Yeah!
Freaking send him! Send him! Also, Ken is voiced by Todd. Todd who?
Todd Howard?
Oh, you two aren't half bad. Oh.
Well, yeah, I mean, we told
You can't just say Todd as if we all know who this Todd is, Code. There's a lot of Todds in this world.
Between yours!
Between our what?
eyes, maybe?
Ears! Between your ears? You just said ears, so that's why I'm gonna shoot you now.
Maybe he does got wax in his ears.
A bullet between the ears? That's not a saying.
Oh, got stuck.
Apparently there's more of you than I expected. Whatever. Ken out.
Well, that was confusing.
Yeah, I'm not even so sure that.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, Code just knows people.
Guess we're headed
People
back to
expects us to
North
know
Ravine
all the
Lane.
people Code knows, but this is not the case.
We should get a money bonus and a level up, I think.
2,000 XP sounds like a level up and a lot of money. And we got ourselves better than
So
you
who
by
do you
Ken.
think it was that stopped Ken from killing us?
Guess we'll find out soon enough.
We didn't even get to watch a movie. I got scammed. The voice of Natsu from Fairy Tail. Oh, okay. Now I can I recognize the voice now. There's a salad on the floor. I need that. You don't make friends with salad.
No good story starts with eating a salad. Also, we can't get into the game store, it seems.
Okay. As usual, we'll just check the GPS where we need to go.
Honk.
It says we can go.
So we did that. Oh no, just generally be. I'll be here if you're for extra muscle. So we did the mall. We did the items.
We're here for video game. Apparently, that's complete.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we just head back. Apparently, we got our thing.
Oh, totally anon. North Ravine Lane. That's it. That's the honk. I
Okay,
like how
so
they come up with a clever, like, it's just Twitter, but they're like, oh yeah, honker, and tweets are called honks. Easy.
The narrator from Kirby Air Ride.
None of these things I watch.
That's a game. I believe I understand. I know. Like, once you told me Natsu from Fairy Tail, okay, I now remember. Alright, we have a ton of money, so...
Damn it,
Ow.
once again, pressing the left bumper instead of the right.
Kobayashi from Agretsuko.
Code is just really upset that we don't watch enough anime as he thinks we do.
I watch Kobayashi. I watch freaking Agretsuko. Ow, I got freaking elbowed, man. Oh my god, did he just freaking stance me?
Nerds!
Sup? You're the real nerd here, you fucking weeb.
Oh wait, no, wrong store, wrong store!
How fucking dare you? How fucking dare you?
Oh, this is the music store. Oh, okay.
Drop by anytime.
We'll be around.
We'll be around.
We'll be around.
Well, going into the store just respawned everybody.
Fine then. You've played Destiny 2, right, Grant?
Tiniest bit, but not enough to, like, properly remember names. You think with my lack of remembering names and faces that I'm gonna remember VAs other than, like, I don't know, Nolan North, Matt Mercer? Actually, not even Matt Mercer I will like remember his thing properly, but I will remember something like Pro ZD now. Alright,
no, none of this helps me.
what are you talking about? A defensive shield when close to defeat? That sounds perfect for you. Get a brawl.
I hear you. Hells yeah, this assignment will definitely be done now. Your voice is my magic assignments.
Oh,
Thank
yeah,
God.
hopefully that's the case.
I'm glad that I can help you with your assignments with my sultry tones.
What about my tones? Am I just a distraction? Is that the key? Oh, hello.
Apparently, it's my voice that's the better one.
No.
I
She
just
didn't
put
say
people
the
to
better
sleep.
one. And she just said it was like helpful to your assignments.
For me, people tell me that I put them to sleep with my voice.
Because you're boring. No.
Apparently, they say it's a sort of ASMR. And I'm like, how?
Have you thought about doing an ASMR stream? Or
Ah,
just
hell
reading
no, I'm
things?
not-
Like just
Nah.
just narrate shit. Get a like
I
a
don't-
public domain story and just be like, this is the story of Frankenstein's monster or something like that.
I would rather pull out pubic hairs one by one than listen to something or someone do ASMR. That's how much it annoys me.
I need money.
Legit, every time I sat on
money.
Code Stream while doing uni work, I get so much done.
Ah.
Okay.
Not sure how I feel about that. Whether or not I feel like I'm helping you accomplish
Well,
something, or
you're getting a viewer is what you get. You are getting a wonderful viewer. I will have
Exactly,
no
exactly.
slander from you about my girlfriend. Thank you very much. You should be thankful she's in your streams and listening to you while she's busy doing uni work, and you aren't you're not harboring, or what's the word? I'm in the middle of a fight.
Oh yeah. Apparently, there's a source. Pardon our dust. We are still open. All right. I do want to check out that store, though.
Yeah, let's check it out. Oh, we could have
I
recruited
could've-
her.
I could have freaking. I'm going this way.
You could have, but instead you decided to beat the shit out of him. You monster frisbee.
That was a
Did
mistake.
you just fall into the pit?
Not my fault.
What's this store anyway?
Hello there. Are you even
Love you too, Artemis. Weapons are far more durable. Soothing sounds make healing items more effective. Sure.
Scissors. Attacking is stronger, but you move more slowly. I need the smartwatch. It makes store items cheaper.
You need 1,000 coin for that. You'll get more. You'll get coin. Like by the time you get like the smartwatch, you will have been able to find a way to get coin fast enough for more accessories and shit like that.
All right, I'm gonna go and leave you guys to play. I'm just coming in to say that you guys have lost your nerd privileges. I'm sorry. Bye.
What do you mean
We're just
nerd privilege?
We're just different kinds of nerds. Thank you very much.
Ow, 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 ow.
Oh.
Yeah, because you died by falling into a pit. Alright, I'm... Oh, fire extinguisher. Go bye-bye.
Come into our store? Is it ours? Is anything?
Oh, you're not even there.
Yeah, because you went into the store without me.
Alright, so
you need to
can
go
you
into
actually
a new
spawn...
area. I can't spawn from a store.
Well, there they go. I might have scared them off.
Alright, I'll go this way.
Dun, 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 dun.
I'm just gonna keep moving. I'm just gonna keep moving. Because the longer I stay in one place, the worse it's going to be. I do need to buy more healing items. Woo!
My money!
Yeah.
Oh, hello. Okay, so that's how. Oh, that's not the jump button.
Alright, what's over here? I am basically just running around like a maniac. Okay, just attack the fire extinguisher.
I was trying to get to the thingy, alright? The controls.
Oh my god! It's time to party!
Oh, the Luchador got me.
Oh my god, oh no.
Nice.
Is there anything else in here?
Not that
I
I
don't
can
think-
see.
Did I just enter a room that had no... Maybe we come back here later.
Most likely.
Well, at least we know where things are. I'm just gonna... Why do they let people into the shopping center while it's still under construction like this?
Oh, okay, there's more. Go.
Get yo-yoed! Man, these Yakuza are poor as.
Well, they took over the whole town. They need to recuperate their costs. So...
On the way. More hole? Okay, so we need to get outside. Actually. This will work. Excuse me, mate. Oh man, I need more money.
The aspect of RPGs that are not fun is the tour stage.
Well, we are committing a lot of acts of violence. But because we're higher level, we're not taking as much damage as we could have. Ow. Ow! Okay, let's see. I might need to go buy some Borgu.
I was just gonna head back to our, Oh, wait, hang on. We can now go this way.
I need to have a backup healing item.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Also, might as well get that.
Customers.
I will eat that
Sure, I guess.
double. And I'll store that. I don't want to go too crazy. What do you mean come back with more money? Freaking give me your money.
Come back when you have some money, buddy!
Well, we are killing these guys fast.
Gosh, I am
Where are
so
we
young.
going?
Gosh, I hope I get a good night's sleep and don't wake up sore tomorrow.
I'm just happy I set up my other monitor arm.
Oh yeah, nice work on that. So you now have, oh my god, stop pressing the left bumper. Grant.
Do you want, can you rebind?
I'm too busy to do that right now. Oh, the water is...
Water bad, water bad. Where did I enter? Where am I going?
You're going into a building.
What kind of building?
An apartment
Mysterious hallway. Is that a zombie? What the frick is going on? I have no idea what's going on.
Okay, so not this way.
Well, we found out where zombies are.
All right, we'll return to our hideout then, and then that way we'll be able to like.
Money! Okay, there's a lot of enemies here. I can't get money if they fall into the freaking fountain. Well, that was uneventful.
Dun, dun, dun.
I will check the GPS. Okay, get. Wow, one of them actually knows how to Hadouken me. Come on, I need to recruit someone. Okay. So we're going to hideouts. Oh my god, everyone's just coming after you!
I can sense the low energies.
Alright. Run back to my house.
There it is.
Hello.
I need to completely rethink what my current idea for my soon-to-be new desk setup is gonna be now that a certain Zeebs is being so freaking awesome and kind and sweet. Yeah. You now have a gaming laptop! Work was getting rid of a lot of different laptops and such, and some of them were following into auction and such like that. And I called dibs on a gaming laptop. All this before I met you, by the by. Also, do I not have any recruited items anymore? Like, that seems weird. Hang on.
Nah, you gotta store stuff in there.
No. Like, accessories. There we go. There we go. All right, so now I got accessories. But yeah, so before I even knew about Med Artemis and such like that, I was like, dibs on this gaming monitor and such like that, because we don't use gaming monitors at work. It's a ridiculous idea. That's why everyone goes to either Dell's, Lenovo's, or we go through an OEM. You get as many of the same laptops as possible with the lowest common denominator in terms of like drivers and all that kind of nonsense, so then that way it's easier to maintain them and keep them up to date and stuff like that in the IT industry. Anyways, but you got this gaming laptop. I knew Artemis wanted to do the like, you know, some more gaming kind of stuff, and she didn't have a gaming PC or something like that, like what I have, because I have this ship of Theseus beast of a gaming PC. So I didn't really need the gaming laptop other than having, you know, a laptop, so then that way I could do that way when I was like going traveling and such like that, instead of having only like my phone with me, I could instead have like a laptop that, you know, could do some of the games that I have in my Steam library and such like that. Not all of them, but some of them. And so then that way, the next time I travel to the States with like family and what have you, and have like a bit of a, you know, not wanting to hang out with them kind of time and such like that, I could then just, you know, put my PC, like, and just plug in my laptop and, you know, play some cool games. So.
Okay, I'm gonna check this accessory store that's on this side.
Okay.
Alright, where do we need to go to next?
Funny seeing you here.
This special seasonal shop cycles its available items several times a year. Check back regularly for new and exciting items. Oh, okay. Clown makeup. That makes it even more.
This magical item might bring you back from the dead.
Nice.
Come back anytime.
So yeah, I got myself like the gaming laptop up, and that's being given up to Artemis and such. And yeah, now she needs to figure out how she's going to arrange her desk, so then that way she can have this gaming laptop, you know, not heat up on top of her desk and all that kind of nonsense, and be able to play video games with moi.
I have a gaming laptop. It was my original laptop for streaming, by the way, because I used to stream with a laptop.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy, but to be fair, like, a lot of your games are games of nostalgia on the Nintendo console, so while the laptop was responsible for your streaming and such. It wasn't like it was the only way you were playing video games, thankfully.
But at least it wasn't intensive. But now I'm on a freaking PC.
A personal computer.
I'm actually doing a lot better now.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Alright, I'm on my way.
You know where we're needing to go?
Yeah, we just need to go down 2 spots. I think.
Oh, so instead of going down to like the right or something like that,
we can go left. Excuse me, freaking get your pom-poms away from me. I would like to recruit, but it's so awkward.
I think it's gonna be difficult while there's 2 of us.
Okay, now we can go this way. Ooh, are we gonna meet someone funny? Ow. Dang it. I could have recruited someone.
Oh, hello.
Oh, it's you.
It's a lady.
Oh, it's the freaking final boss of the last game. Come on. Venting. I hate it when I get attacked by random people with a freaking Walkman walking down the street. Okay, getting airtime on that's fine. I need that.
Yep.
Hello, children.
It's that
Sabuko.
Yakuza woman.
The one we kicked through the window.
And we'll do it again if you start any trouble.
Kick
Hell
me
yeah.
through a window? We are in a street.
Okay, well, she's got me there.
Maybe we could meet up later at our penthouse? I'm not here to fight you.
That's a relief, because we are way rusty on our training.
Tell her that.
You two caused me some minor embarrassment.
More
I
like
wouldn't
major
call it
embarrassment.
Minor.
But it is my father and brother who must pay for how they treated me.
I don't think she's gonna kill us.
Yeah, I'm getting that sense. So then, what do you want from us?
Also, thanks for stopping my brother.
You can't reach my father. Not yet, anyway. To get inside Sawakai Tower where he waits, you must first acquire the emblems of each of his disciples.
Bicycles?
She said bicycles. Pay attention.
Forget it. We will start with Ken. To destroy my brother, you must prove him a failure to my father. And there's nothing my father loves more than his wealth.
I bet they've got all kinds of gold cats in their house.
We do. Head across town to River City Bank. My father owns it now. It's where my father launders his money. Stop his men from making their deposit, then await further instructions.
Why should we do anything for you?
Because for once, our mutual adversaries are in alignment. You can keep the money.
Now you're talking.
I like that. Yes! I reckon we should go get money.
Money.
We need money. How am I gonna get that smartwatch?
In the immortal words of laborer and philosopher Charles Darwin to his longtime compatriot Frederick Henkel, baby needs money.
As freaking Sun Tzu once said, if an Nvidia factory ain't on fire, it will be on fire. Ow. Alright, should probably check the GPS where we
Alrighty.
need to go.
We'll check
Because
the
I don't know
GPS.
where. Well, while that's happening, you're about to get attacked.
Yeah, it brought me out of my thingy-diggy.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Heck no! I'm venting. Oh my god! I saw that. It's always when you're about to. All right, let's check where we need to go.
All right, so we need to go
all the way to the left. We're going the wrong way.
All right, let me get something to eat.
Sure, I also need to get some more healing items.
Hey there.
Combini.
Buy something.
I'll buy the bacon rod, whatever that is.
So it's a $2 increase to get 5%, and then there's another $1 increase. All right, cool.
Okay.
I think I'm fine with this.
Choice. Drop by anytime.
Isn't that the whole point of a convenience store?
Yeah, you just drop
You
by
can drop by
anytime.
anytime.
Now the
Except
interesting
the problem
thing is oh boy.
Oh god, I'm being harassed. Wow, that's some weird ass combo. All right, all right. As you were saying, while we were being viciously assaulted.
Nah, the train of thought is lost now about combinis.
Because we got assaulted.
Yep.
Okay, freaking, I'll... Oh my god. Your recruit is getting beaten up. Get dabbed on. Okay, I'm getting beaten on. Okay, so...
All the way to the left.
Yeah, all the way to the left. I just wanted to check, like, the dojo's not here.
Yep, all good, all good.
Okay, dojo's here. Actually, no, dojo's not here. Just... Hello, friends! I would like to recruit one of you idiots.
Ow. Oh, I'm stuck. Ow.
Do you need help?
Nah, I'm good. I'm good. Now we can go to
If you
the
see a
bank.
vending machine, I need to beat it up.
All good.
Of course.
Can't get through here yet.
I could tear through the gate with my dragon kick.
Do you remember how to do that?
Nope.
Let's come back later.
Oh, this is the school.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just simply locked out. Okay, I'm down.
All right. So that. Yep. This gets us. So that's the front of the school.
All right, so this is our final destination, I think. It's just that we can't get in. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah.
Luckily, there's no friendly fire.
I'm pretty sure that was friendly fire.
But you don't actually take damage from it. Who are you?
Hey, Yoko.
Sup?
What are you doing out here?
Oh my god, she's hot.
No, we mean...
Blue has a type.
How's it going?
Tomboys.
Not bad. Just trying to kick these Nimrods into shape for the upcoming dodgeball tournament.
Hey, you're pretty.
You know what's crazy about Nimrod?
Know it.
Wanna help us beat up a bunch of young...
What's crazy about it?
Okay, so the Nimrod is used more often than not as like an idiot, like pseudonym slash thesaurus thingamadiggy. Is that people are just like calling someone a Nimrod? But in actuality, like the original Nimrod was actually this hunter from the Bible or some old ass text like of mythology or some shit. Nimrod was like the greatest of like hunters and what have you. He was like very dangerous. We only think of Nimrod as an idiot because of the not Cartoon Network, but the Warner Brothers like Looney Tunes where ow.
We need to hit them with the ball. Get out. You're out. Hiya. You're out. Okay, me dabbing on them is not helping. You're out. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hit him in the freaking back with a ball.
Nice job. You actually did okay out there.
Classic Blue technique right
pretty
there.
athletic.
I wouldn't go that far. I owe you guys though. Anytime you need my help.
Will you join our gang?
I'm too busy training these goons, remember?
Oh yeah.
We've got to go save the city now.
See you around, Yoko.
$100.
Woo!
Take tats. Well, that was worth it. We got a bunch of money and XP.
Yeah.
All right, where's the bank?
Good question.
All right. He's dead.
All right, let's have a look. So... Nah, so we need to go all the way to the right now because we're looking for the red exclamation point.
Okay, we can take the bus stop.
Yep.
Go right and then go up.
Yep.
Yep. Grant just beat up King. Yes, freaking do it again. Even though in law, the original King died and another person took up the mantle of King.
Hence why there's like a photo of King looking at a photo of King. Or a video, sorry.
Yes. It's that wrestling motif, you know, you can't show your identity.
You need some help, huh? I've been training for this my whole life.
I wanted to see what would happen with you. Oh!
I could.
Damn it.
Yeah, I think this happens when we beat up the same dude.
To be fair, the last 2 times, you could have recruited your guy, but you got caught up in the sauce.
I'm sorry, freaking I get caught in the combo. Like, ever since I got Crescent Kick, my 3-hit combo is like way better. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. I can get around with not recruiting. It's just annoying that I get caught up in the sauce. Then the guy whose Armored King died and is replaced. Yeah, Armored King. I am a Moko Jin enjoyer.
I have no idea about any of the Tekken lore. The only like fighting games I've played.
Goons, we gotta get these bags into the vault and get back to the tower fast.
Look, it's that guy again.
Oh, jeez. These two again? Can't I ever get a break?
Didn't you blow up
Do I
in that
know
explosion
who
at
that is?
Samurai Tower?
Oh, I blew him up.
Anyway, we need to take those bags of money from you now.
Yeah, that ain't happening. Know why? 'Cause it's my job to get every last bag off the truck and into that vault. And I always get the job done.
Like back at the tower?
Oh, that doesn't count! Now hurry up, fellas. We need to get all 12 bags of money into that vault. Not 6, not 8, all 12. Or else these kids succeed in their mission, you could say.
Does he always talk like this?
Apparently. Ready to kick more Yakuza butt?
Apparently.
Alright, time to do a bit of a mini-game, I reckon.
Alright.
So, we got a minute and 30 seconds to stop these idiots.
Mopey face, like when someone takes away a kitten you're petting.
I was just thinking, isn't it wrong to rob from a bank?
It's not from the bank. They're moving the money through there illegally.
I guess. But it's still not.
We need to grab the...
Not yet, anyway. Besides,
No.
get a little extra scratch out of this. We can finally afford to buy some new video games.
I guess that's true.
Okay, we can't let them fill up. Okay.
So we're looking to fill up like our bar up to 12 times.
Yep. I'm trying. Like, we just need to hit the guys with the bags of money. That's it, and then pick up the money off the floor. Okay.
Did it.
I better be quite a bit.
There we go.
$100.
Too tough. And hey, we made some cash too.
I wonder why Sabu is trying to take over the town.
You think too much.
Wow, these... Oh, random money lying around.
Thank you, Squeeze, for the hyper himbo. I greatly appreciate it. I definitely need all that energy I can.
Why are you destroying stuff in the bank?
Hey, look, there's an empty safe.
Maybe it's a reference to something.
Alright. Down, left, through the thingy-majiggy, up, right. I think is where we go next.
Alright, let's... I reckon we're doing pretty well. It's just that it's the beginning of the game that's a bit weird. Oh, Godai, not this guy again!
Here I come, lady.
Okay. Get dabbed on! Alright, so you said that we needed to go... Okay, so if we take the bus stop back to near base and we go
Oh, okay, yeah. And
down
then
twice, I think we should be fine.
Yeah.
Can that Tiger Man pick me up at 8? Why? You really want something, don't you? For the record, I'm not one of you sheeple that use this app. I just wanted everyone to know. Oh my goodness. Okay, I need to
Nuts in my mouth now.
fight someone one-on-one.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, damn it.
That's oh. It's always in the middle of the 3-hit combo. Alright, I'm gonna bust.
Oh no, we need to go.
Yeah, we bus stop up here and then go down twice. Geez, some of these, we're getting random messages. Bummer, I was about to mug some tourists and all the lights went out. What's going on my socials?
We're in a weird neighborhood.
Would you live here?
No.
Whatever. I think it's because the amount of price inflation is too high. Like, for a single burger, 25 bucks?
Yeah.
Let's see, I'm gonna... I'll try and recruit someone. Are you okay?
No, I am not okay.
Come on, I just need to recruit some idiot. Oh. Alright.
There we go.
Oh, wait.
Recruit him. There we go.
Got him, finally. That means I could also, yeah, it's go down twice.
Okay.
It means that I can finally spam NPCs. I lock my doors while driving through here. You can drive through here?
Good call. Well, yeah, there was driving going on there.
Oh my god, it's Jacksepticeye!
Oh, hey! It's you two.
Oh, it does sound like him. Yeah, okay.
Yep, it's Godai.
The one and only. Accept no substitutions.
I'd accept a refund.
By the way, I saw you two take out that Yakuza crew at the bank. Very impressive.
How'd you see that?
Oh, well, you know, I like to keep my eyes around town.
Oh yeah, this guy goes everywhere. He knows what you're doing.
Sharp today.
Oh, he's a stalker.
I don't like where this is going.
I got a proposition for you.
Does it involve my foot in your neck?
Maybe later. Anyway, I'm working on a secret photography project. How's about you two take selfies of yourselves around town?
Why?
Why not? Should be what you're asking.
Why, you creepy little skunk?
For my project. Anyway, I'll give you a big prize. Snap photos of yourselves around town and you'll earn something real special.
I don't trust him.
Me either. But we could use some extra cash.
Okay, doormat, how do we take these selfies?
With the cameras on your cell phones, of course.
Why do we keep agreeing to stuff like this?
That's true. Why would we keep it great?
Crosstown, downtown, technos, ladderings, uptown. Okay, so we just need to... Okay, so that doesn't do it.
Is there a specific oh, I think there's specific areas. Okay, so I know where we need to go.
Damn it, press the right.
What do you expect when you attack a freaking barbecue grill?
Sausages.
You expect sausages to come out and not burst into flames? Everyone's awake. How dare you beat up my guy? Ow. That hurts. Okay, I have no idea what I just did.
Oh. That was a coincidence that thing came to me.
And I just jump into a pit. Is there actually something over there?
Yeah, there is. There's a crane that will go back and forth.
Safety! I could have just gone on the road.
Yeah. Just playing out on the road with all the other cars.
It's like Godai has given us another quest. Okay, that's a pit. Yeah, I remember the freaking Oh yeah, the bookstore.
Hey, look, it's a kid.
Don't touch him. He looks angsty.
All kids are angsty.
See?
Look, he's got a Riot shirt on. That's Riot Games right there.
Yep, that's
Copyright
pretty
infringement.
angsty.
What are you doing here, kid?
Stuff. What do you care?
We don't. But typically people we run into give us some kind of useful info.
Yeah, got any for us?
We're all gonna die, and nothing we do before then matters.
Oh my god, hitting us with...
Never said I was. Now take off.
Listen, you little hooded sack of emo. We're trying to stop the Yakuza from taking over all our favorite spots.
They better not have taken over the b-ball court yet. Besides, this helps you too, seeing as how you live here.
Fine. There's some mysterious woman with legendary abs who's taken over downtown. If you find her, maybe she can help you out.
Any idea where in downtown?
Try the basketball court. The local Yakuza team usually plays there around now, and she usually clears them out soon after.
Thanks, kid. You're a lot more helpful than you look.
I'm a smoldering inferno of apathy.
That's obvious.
Yeah, okay, Okay, you can continue being whatever teenage angst you are.
Please enjoy my wares.
Make household weapons not break when held. Make construction weapons not break when held.
Sports weapons not break when held. Toys not break when held. Oh, okay. So these are accessories.
But buying them gives you stat boosts.
Yeah, I see it. What's ST and what's AT?
ST is stamina and WP, I forgot what that was. I'm gonna buy the jock book. What would you like to do? Eat it or store it?
You eat the books? What the shit?
I'm gonna eat the book. Oh, they're stackable. Okay. They're used. I would like construction weapons not to break when held. Okay, I ate the books.
Mint condition. See you around.
Like, I got this. Wait, luckily for me, there is a construction tool that I can pick up. Alright, so we keep going this way, I think.
Can you go that way? Oh yeah, you can. Nice.
Any section that has a icon hovering over it, you can enter.
I wonder who that mystery woman is that Howdy Kid talked about.
You mentioned legendary abs. Oh, remember that shopkeeper with the platinum blonde hair?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You can grate cheese on those abs.
Well, it might be her.
Alright, I spent a lot of money here, so I might need to get more money.
Oh.
Did he just jump into the fire?
Not on purpose.
Like, this is downtown. This is not what I think downtown looks like. A smoldering inferno.
Oh, there's a... There was a punk we could have talked to.
All right, we'll go see the punk.
Let's just fight these guys before we go any further.
Okay, they dropped a shit ton of money. English tear. I don't know what that means.
English tutor, perhaps, but spelled poorly.
English teach? Who the heck are you? Oh, you're the Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator clone. Got it. Ow, 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 ow. It's a weird jump, isn't it?
Yeah, easier way is just to do it from... Hang on.
Wait, where's the punk?
So an easier way would be to... Hang on. Ding, dong.
Oh, there you are. I'll talk to him.
Well, hey, look at you two.
Look at you two. Hi there, Ice Bear.
Keep your eyes to yourself, creep.
Yeesh, it's kind of harsh. You don't even know me.
We should keep it that way.
My name's Williams.
Is that your first name or last?
Yes. I knew it. When they were like, first name or last, I was like, yes.
Probably. But these particular blackouts are because of faulty equipment. Ever since the Yakuza rolled into town, they scared away all of the service folks. So stuff breaks in it, stays broke.
Well, we gotta get in the
Oh my god.
for reasons.
Yeah, you gotta fly.
Sleep trying to claim you, yeah?
Yeah, the last few nights of not, like, properly sleeping has definitely caused havoc.
Here, I got a wrench. Take this and go fix the generators yourselves. It's 3 of them.
Can you show us where they are?
Nope, I'm busy.
Standing there, looking cool.
Hey, you'll know it.
So yeah, it's...
Thanks for the icky wrench, Mr. Williams.
Yes, we have to do this before we
Generator,
move
Skate
around.
Street, generator shop, coffee shop, and apartment 410.
I do remember seeing where one of the generators are. It's next to the bookstore where I ate the books.
Alright.
Did you? Yeah, apparently I can gain knowledge by consuming the book.
Weird, huh?
You tell me something. I thought I would gain, like, inks, not, yeah, I gain freaking, chemical inks instead of knowledge.
Is that
All right.
generator thingies?
I'm not sure. Hit it with a wrench and see what happens.
All right. I'll hit it with a wrench. I'm the engineer from TF2.
Yay, we fixed one.
And that's not how you fix shit. Oh my god. Freaking send them, why don't you?
Oh, he could have been recruited. Damn it.
It's okay. I think we need to keep going this way. I hate it when enemies keep spawning in. But then again, being assaulted on the street... as I say, like, it's okay if you get attacked like this, because people are technically walking loot crates. Alright, so... River City Girls, I do enjoy the franchise as a whole, because it's basically side-scrolling beat 'em up. I usually don't play a lot of these, but I do like the comedic talk. Like, some of it's kind of too meta.
I'm a bit on it. I don't know. Something about the control. Like, I'm not much for the side-scroller beat 'em up games. I don't know.
It does play like an old-fashioned beat 'em up. Like, the controls are clunky.
It's a game of nostalgia for you. more than a.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just. Oh, what's down here?
The exit to something.
Downtown
shop. Oh my god, someone stole my idea. My idea of using shipping containers as a place.
That's always a thing.
Let's do this, girl.
I'm claiming it's my idea. Oh my god, he has freaking grenades in his chest.
And then bus stop here.
Bus stop? Okay, we can easily come back. There's another shop. Legal drugs.
As opposed to illegal.
I have a frying pan. Let's see, what do they have in terms of legal drugs? In-game. Okay, in-game, by the way.
Bandages, aspirin, first aid kit, vitamin K. Honestly, they're all legal.
That vitamin K tonic, I might as well buy one because that's a full heal.
It is. It costs $50 though, Jesus. I'm probably just gonna go for the first aid kit.
Purchase confirmed.
Also, why am I being served by someone that's on freaking Daft Punk?
Program.
Times have been tough since they split.
I will say this at least. I'm like, man.
Look at that. Oh.
Help. Help. Give me a moment. Such violence. Dude, I figured I'm being beaten up on the street. Okay, are you dying?
Yeah, I'm dying. Oh, and I'm falling down the thingamadiggy. Oh, no.
Why
was it doing that?
No, that was funny. That was legit funny.
That was ridiculous. Like,
No,
I was on the
get
platform, and it was like, oh yeah, we need to get you down to the bottom. I thought it would stop at the bottom.
Okay, I'm about to die. Oh, we probably need to keep going this way. Yeah, we're not meant to go this way yet.
How do you know?
We need to go to downtown. We're leaving downtown.
What thing? Like the last few nights, I have not been like doing a full night's of sleep normally enough.
All right, we took down the dominatrix.
Oh, you can recruit them.
Oh, I was meant to. It was the other. Okay, so you can have 2 recruits. It's just that you need to press the other.
One on the right trigger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, luck. Yes, please.
Understood.
Milik.
Understood.
I'll drink the whole thing of milk.
Okay.
Aloe drink. I'll eat that.
Fine. Leave.
Okay, dude, why do you sound like the guy from Trivia Murder Party?
I get those comments sometimes when I have my hyper himbo voice.
Oh man, freaking you gonna host a Trivia Murder Party?
Honestly, that would be kind of funny if I did a collab stream where it is just literally a trivia party or something like that. Lord, oh, what did I pick up then?
Blue notes just mean more money.
It looked like a gold coin.
Okay, then you just picked up more money. What the heck do you... Oh, that's a shovel. Okay, I don't think there's anything in here.
Right.
I'll check the map where we need to go. Alright.
Hello, little incineroar. Trivia party?
Okay, so...
Where are we?
Okay, so we do need to go through that tunnel, go to the next room, and then go down. And then... Oh man, there's a lot of adventuring.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, we do need to go this way.
Alright. Okay. Hey, lots, wiggle drugs, and a boat. All right. So yeah, because we go left, left, down.
Yeah, left, down. And then just keep going. Okay, I would avoid being in the middle of the road. Is that a kid? Freaking, how does a mall cop have freaking tear gas? Also, who has a hot pink car?
Plenty of people might have a hot pink car. We need to move out of the age of just like minimalism in our designs, honestly.
The biggest problem at the moment with cars is that a lot of cars are just black or white nowadays. It's really...
they're in the grayscale and muted colors.
Mine's red.
And the whole reason for the muted colors is so then that way it's easier to sell and have iconography to whatever brand or what have you that you may be associated with.
It's like, what do you mean? Like how all the McDonald's look dead inside every time you go to one?
Yeah, because that is not for the franchise, that is for the landowner. And because McDonald's is land ownership, they're fine with, you know, being a cheap in that regard.
Like every time I go to a Pizza Hut, I feel like the place is just really corporate. It doesn't feel like a freaking pizzeria. Like, even Domino's to a degree. Dang it, I should have recruited him. I'm an idiot.
Rawr, hi there, Nano Gamer. Metallic blue. But yeah, it's a very pale blue though. So. Oh hey, it's another hideout. Texas Motel.
Ooh, I can at least recruit one guy. Who lives here?
Wait, oh, because it's the... And then different districts give you different,
Okay, I can move items into here. Sweet. I'll put those in there for later. Looks grey in some lights, which is why the car's nicknamed Cloud. Okay, so I do like hatchbacks because if you actually learn to drive in a hatchback, when you drive in a bigger car, you're more conscious about the size of your vehicle.
With a hatchback.
Whereas if you drive... Yeah.
I feel like with a sedan, you'd get that lesson more.
Take a wrench.
Oh, no. If you drive a small-ass car, you can go into places that normal cars don't normally, have trouble going through. But if you drive a big-ass car, oh, man, it's such a pain in the ass. This is why I hate how freaking soccer moms have, like, 7-seat cars, and they don't even need them.
Ah, damn it.
Yeah.
There we go. Coffee shop done.
Wait, this is a coffee shop?
Apparently this was the coffee shop.
Wait, someone's playing Settlers of Catan. Never mind.
It? Oh, you can eat that apple?
Yeah, I'll eat the apple. Oh yeah, driving Mum's CX-5 after driving my Mazda 2 terrified me the first time. I was still a learner, to be honest. Okay, so I never learned how to drive from my parents because you would automatically learn bad habits. I got taught by a proper instructor. And it was probably worth it.
Yeah, I got taught by an instructor.
Plus, if you ever take your driver's test, like, this is actual advice. Like, if you get your driver's test done by an and you can have your instructor be a witness, they can dispute whatever the assessor starts bullshitting about.
Really?
I remember when I took my driver's test, my instructor was there as a witness. I was driving his vehicle, not mine. And the assessor legit deducted points for me because I was being too safe. I'm like, excuse me, what? And then my instructor disputed against him about the speedometer being wrong, and he'd be like, what the hell are you on about?
I don't like it.
I love comboing people in the air. I need a dab on someone. Get dabbed on.
Oh, that could have been recruited as well. Gosh darn it.
We're so busy being so simple-minded and just attack, ask questions later. Oh, that was good air combo. That's not a good air combo. Who the heck is this guy meant to be?
Just a punk.
Yeah, that was my only point taken off. Hesitate going around the corner. One that's known to have many accidents on. Hey, I'll tell you what, you do better than what one of my friends did. Like he took the same test 3 times and he hit the stops. He hit the first stop sign. The second test, he almost hit that stop sign. And then on the third test, he near missed that stop sign.
It took me 3 goes to get my driving test, and frankly, like one of them is like, yep, definitely was my fault, and then one of them I was like, I should not have been like penalized for like, or it shouldn't have taken this long for them to have an issue with me, and really, like, I should have been. Oh, they got me again. So the first driving test, first driving test, I was in an area that I was not familiar driving in. Like, I never driven in this area before, Carseldine, and we were getting like, we were at like an intersection or something like that. So there was the intersection, and you know, you could turn left at any time, and because it was like that slip thing, there wasn't a traffic light to stop me or something like that. And we're literally just the first road after getting off from the driving center or whatever it's called. And I was like, I hesitated on trying to get into a gap that I could have gotten into, and I was like, oh no, I should have gone for that. And the driving instructor said, no, the driving test guy was like, you couldn't do that. I go tapping on the accelerator, and he hits the brake going, no. So at that point, like, I failed at that point. That was an instant failure, and it was like less than a minute because I hesitated and I was trying to recover from that. The second test, I didn't do a second test until like a year or 2 later because moving around nonsense, and we had a family friend who had they were starting up a driving school, and they had a dual controlled car. But the problem is that we went for this test, and it was like, yeah, no, the car will be provided and such. And there was just such a hubbub because, you know, you have to fill out the form of like, oh yeah, going, using this car for testing and da-da-da-da. And there was just such a hubbub over the fact that it was a dual controlled car, but wasn't like, there was something about its licensing or registration that shouldn't have allowed it to be a dual controlled car. And this went on for like half an hour or something like that, them trying to figure this nonsense out, that by the time they came back to us of like, no, you couldn't take this test with this car, it was too late. I couldn't take the test anyway because it was like past the half hour that I needed to have started my test, and there was no one available that day. So that was sort of seen, I don't know if that was seen as like an actual failure or not, but the fact is that we didn't get a refund or anything like that. And yeah, I wasn't able to take my test then, so I take that as like a second failure. By the third time, I went with the driving instructor's car, and the driving instructor like went to the thingy-majiggy with me and such, and like this one I was getting all kinds of prep for and such because I was having a driving instructor. I had like 3 lessons from him, and like on the third one we'd go for the actual like driving test itself. So the third one was like really short. It was just a refresher of like, okay, this is kind of like what he might want you to try and do. You're going to be driving around in this neighborhood here. It might not be this route, but you will at least need to be on this road. pay attention to this road because you need to drive only 15 kilometers an hour on this particular road, and some people will get caught out on this road being 15 kilometers because it looks like a drive, like you get off a driveway at first and then you're on this road and people think, yeah, just go up to 50. No, you still need to be 15. So any whoosies. I take this test and I am just thinking in the back of my mind, all right, do not like, you know, don't hesitate, but at the same time, don't take any risks or anything like that. So maybe just like speak up your mind. Oh, cool, we got the other thing done. So yeah, so we drive around like the neighborhood or something like that. Like, oh hey, you can recruit this person.
Okay, let's. Yeah, you recruit them, like, because you can.
Because we got someone and I now have someone. Oh, hey, another Yakuza.
Oh my, okay. Oh my god, big, tall, buff lady. So, my driver's test experience, I'm one of those people that pass on the first try.
Oh, you asshole. You privileged driver, you.
And the thing is, my instructor told me to go to this specific, freaking place to go get the driver's test done, because that place was one of the easiest locations to do it at. The route is always predetermined, and he already taught many of the drivers to go that way. So that was the only time like I did do my test. I got penalized one time, but other than that, I got it. I was told that I passed. I'm like, holy moly.
A Bobo.
Hello, a Bobo.
Oh, hey. I bring my takeout. Gotta keep pounding those proteins to stay in this shape.
Oh, man.
What shape is that?
Kinda looks like a barrel.
Wait, I recognize this guy. He used to run things in the sewer. Boo-boo?
A boo-boo?
Bobo.
A bun-bun?
I said my name's a Bobo.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a boo-boo.
Anyway, what are you doing sitting in the darkness all alone?
Waiting for my
I
takeout.
did the same kind of thing. I chose mine, and then we did all our lessons in the area to ensure I knew the routes and spots that I would be required to do maneuvers. Yeah. So on the third test, then I went through all the areas. I think once or twice I would just speak my mind of what, because like we were on like this one road that didn't really properly mark and such, and there was like, you know, some cars were doing like one or two, and I was like, you know, almost side by side, and I was like, no, I'm staying in this lane here because it's not properly marked, and I don't want to, you know, get forced into a left lane where I only have to turn left or something like that.
Thanks.
We get through the driving test, we go back to the place. Turns out perfectly. I did not have no demerits, no points or anything like that at all. It was a perfect drive, which I was really pleased with, especially considering my first driving test, it was just an instant fail. It was just a failure, like, not even like, oh, fetch point here or there. It's like, nope, that one's just a proper failure there. You need to like turn back around to the place.
The funny thing is, for me, like, when I was doing my driving lessons, my instructor did say like I was ready to take the test, and he did use one of the lessons to take me through the exact routes.
Yeah.
An exact area. And I'm like, you just have to be careful of this, this, and this. This area is actually a 40, even though it doesn't say it's a 40.
Yeah.
Until way later.
Mm-hmm.
But people end up driving at 50. Which, in my opinion, it's the bloody council's fault.
I'm guessing there's like a lot of ways into the road and they don't properly mark that it's 40 at the different points you can enter.
From what I can tell, one of the signs just is gone. I don't know what happened there. Must. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, damn it. That was me. I'm
well,
sorry.
I also jumped into attack. I feel like we're going to have to assume we're not going to recruit anybody.
Yeah. It's going to take a bit.
Like, if I'm playing single player, like, I would recruit people because you need as much help as possible. Level up. Take this, you dominatrix bitch!
Oh, maybe we can recruit her? Nah, okay, she just drops an apple.
Ooh, hey, apple.
Yep, you needed that.
Let's go, let's go. We also need to go check out what's his name. Williams. He's like Mario or Luigi Mario.
Okay, so we need to go up.
Oh my god. I hate the fact that I randomly get attacked on the street just because I look like a freaking bimbo girl that's cute.
Who said that?
You're just walking around like you got freaking bands around your abs, but everyone can see your pecs.
Yeah. Delinquent behavior right here.
Alright, so you did say we need to go
up.
Up is for both. Oh yeah, if we just go straight up, we can shortcut. Out of the way. Wait, what the hell? This is the dog park? Excuse me? Why are the dogs out there?
Degenerates is all of them.
Hey, everyone, the dog. Oh my god.
Oh, you can...
Oh.
You want right trigger, I think. Yep, there you go.
Yep. I technically recruited the same dude.
Yeah, that's not helpful.
Oh my god, Yoda!
Hello, Yoda.
Again.
How do you get around so
60% bimbo? Nice work there, Omega.
Not really.
It involves a complex system of interconnected sewers.
I said.
Why didn't
wait,
that
you
work?
mean?
Anyway,
Redeem
I got a new
TTS
mission
spot.
for
Why
you.
didn't the TTS
I
spot
can't
work?
wait to hear this.
That's the spirit.
TTS spot is enabled.
I see you're headed to the local basketball court.
Channel
might
redeem
be.
TTS spot.
Well, there's a Yakuza crew who plays there.
isn't
But every time I
ignored.
join in, they hurl b-balls at my face.
That's understandable.
Head over there and help me destroy.
Oh, because hang on
No.
a second.
Why would we do that?
Hang on.
I do
Action
it myself,
cue,
but I
Ending actions,
forgot my
action
favorite
history.
sneakers.
Here we go.
That seems plausible.
I'm rooting for you.
Inspect when queued. Oh.
All right, well, let's go help Gyodai beat up some Yakuza basketball players.
There might have been a... Hang on a second. Let me have a look if the... Because I think I have it so that some words are actually, like, restricted or some shit. Let me have a look. Settings...
What? I'm going to assume the word that didn't get through is midget.
No, it looks like I just have a... It's not in my filter, so... I'm gonna see what happens when I re-queue it. Hang on a second. Because it says it took like 600 milliseconds to run it, but I didn't hear anything on my side, is the thing. So... Oh, it's because SpeakerBot isn't seen as connected. Okay, there we go. Now if I go to action history and I try and do it again, re-queue.
Oh my god, they respawned!
Me to say, why did the midget laugh while running through the grass? Cause the grass tickled their balls.
Oh my god, maybe I might recruit someone.
You might have regretted that TTS, honestly.
Well, it's how it is with the TTS. But I need to get my own TTS sorted out.
So I'm just using Amazon Poly. It literally costs me like less than $2 a month to run it. Like it costs nothing, quite frankly. Just create an AWS business account.
Losers.
Oh, it's the Yakuza Ballers.
Belongs to the city.
You tell him.
So, yeah.
Oh my god, that guy in the middle is a freaking hazard.
Oh, we could have recruited the police, damn.
Kind of hard to recruit people. You know what? I'll stay on one side of the court.
Yep, I'll stay on this side. I'll stay on the left.
I will try to send someone your way. I would have recruited him, but oh, there's some sick beats. Come on, let me recruit someone. I'm just trying to avoid the guy in the middle because he can just send me to Jesus.
Jesus, look at that. Went right through.
Whoa!
Yeah, if you can hit them into the spinning man, you should get some decent
Come on, come on. Okay. Oh, money. Oh my god. What the heck's going on? Of course there had to be some cat girl attacking me.
Nice.
Oh, that nice wise work there. No, 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 no. Oh, I was about to recruit.
You already have your recruits. You already had both filled, so...
That was a dumb move. Now she's going to hear about this, and you're all going to take a long dirt nap.
Oh, no.
Filthy. Oh, I could use a nap.
He means they're gonna kill us.
That sounds less appealing.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Pull the lever,
Yes, I will.
Yeah, we need to get out of here.
We might be fighting the boss. I'll take the strength increase. Ow! Thanks for the assist. Okay, this is actually pretty fine. I think our money is going pretty okay. We're getting a reasonable amount. But I would like more.
Oh, hey again. Thanks for helping me out back there.
Yeah, whatever. What do you want now, Godai?
Please don't send us on another mission.
Actually, I come bearing a gift.
Hard pass.
What is it?
Okay.
Nice.
$100. Mega Ran.
Nice.
Migoran. Oh god!
Of course.
Why did I expect anything else?
Special meter
I swear
fills up. Recruits attacks are more damaging.
I swear there used to be a splash with the pull the lever. I don't know.
Don't think there was.
Oh, food truck stop. All right.
I don't remember this. Okay.
Okay, so we unlocked another bus stop. Japanese comfort food.
Is that Brock?
Nah, that's a typical NPC character. Coffee Queen.
Okay, so...
Cara Burger.
We just need to go to the left twice, but I'm kind of curious what's off to the... Oh, never mind.
I can press it.
Nah, it's okay, it's okay. Knowing our luck, we'll need to go all the way to the right for whatever reason at some point or another.
All the way to the right leads somewhere. Okay, ooh, what's this? Go! Okay, I'm gonna warp you over because I started destroying the ground. Oh, you just jumped across.
Yeah.
What's in this shop anyway?
Is this? It's a
This is
dojo. Sir
Surgedogs
Dragon!
88 with the 28-month tier 1 sub.
Okay, I'm done with my abuse.
Thank you so much for subscribing for the last 28 months. I greatly appreciate it. You don't have to deal with advertisement. You get to utilize all the cool emotes. Although I do need to go to the bathroom. I'm so sorry. So it means you get to skip out on advertisements. Can we pause this?
We can enter the dojo if you don't want to get assaulted.
Yeah, would prefer that. Oh, shit. There we go. So yeah, because I need to go to the bathroom. I'm so sorry.
That's fine. I need a drink. I will hydrate. I'll just keep an eye on chat.
Thank you so much.
What kind of music's playing on at the moment? What the heck's happening? You know what, everyone? Go nuts with the amount of chaos. Yeah, this is some weird-ass radio that's going on. Man, I feel freaking angsty with this soundtrack. Woo! I should actually use that move more. Yeah, this would help me out a lot more. I will say this, like, what does Zeebs have on his throne at the moment? Yeah, what does he have on his throne?
Get off my throne. I haven't updated it in a while.
Dude, you already got a pro controller.
Oh yeah, I need to get rid of that then. I'm gonna need to do some updates.
You need socks.
What's wrong with socks?
Put more socks on there.
Oh, so you just don't approve of the socks I've put on there? Is that it?
Well, I bought my socks already.
Where have you gone for your socks then? Because these these are just like silly like Dickies from Amazon.
I bought mine from Uniqlo.
Oh my goodness. I feel like you recruit to me Uniqlo so much. Like, hang on a second. Uniqlo, men's, sports utility wear, activewear collection. No, just show me the fucking, where is it?
Socks.
Where's socks? Is it in accessories or innerwear? Actually, it's probably in innerwear, isn't it? There it is. Sports socks, short. Let's have a look. Okay. I'll go with, so 8 to 11s, which is what I am. You can buy a pack, you can buy 3 for $14.90. Cool. All right. Ding dong. All right, I'm going to try and add this to my wish list then. Socks.
I bought some of those socks and they come in solid colors as well. I have like 4 types of blue. I'm not biased in any way at all.
Mm-hmm. You're not biased at all for going for Uniqlo socks.
There's also the fact that I got the Fire Highs from Angry Paws and I got a pair of Fox socks from Still Vixen.
Chat, what is a go-to sort of sock brand you go for? All right, so no, these aren't $5. These are $6. Or is it? Yeah, it's $6. What was it? $5.90. There we go. What just happened? Oh, you just went into the other.
I am committing acts of violence. They're all busy targeting me.
Nope.
Okay. Wow, level up.
Nice.
Okay, so we need to keep going left. I think we can do another boss fight and we should be all Gucci, I guess?
Yeah. I'll be real with you, like, I don't have it in me to go the full normal 4 hours, quite frankly, and neither can you, though, can you?
No, I'm restricted by...
oh, we could have recruited that guy as well.
I'm restricted by time limit rather than,
This is where we need to be.
Oh, we need to be here? Oh, wait, dude, we see Williams is up there. Okay, I jumped into the fire. I'll go talk to him.
We fixed all those generator thingies.
Hey! The subway should be lit up now.
He's not creepy at all.
Yay.
Oh, level up. 150 bucks.
Tunnel is lit. Alright, so to the left, up, and all the way to the right.
Alright, before we do that, I feel like I need to buy some items. Oh, wait, there's a shop next door. Okay, sweet.
You should leave the Zeebs dancing? Ah.
Actually, no, this is the bookstore. I need the... Ah! Oh, no, the emo kid doesn't have anything to say.
How do you know? The emo kid... There we go.
It's that mopey little kid again.
I'm not mopey. I'm deep and tortured.
Yeah, so does every other
look
teenager
tortured.
when they get a
We can
zit.
fix that though, if you keep mouthing off.
You look roughed up.
We can fix that. I will give you trauma.
Jumped me when I wasn't looking.
Did you fight back?
Ah.
What's the point?
Bluey is
Just going to
cheap?
die
What do you mean Bluey? Why do you think Blue Foxy Nicey Icy is
I was
cheap?
going to say we're all outnumbered by them. They run this part of town now.
Oh, right.
It's so annoying that these Yakuza keep taking over all the cool spots in town.
Definitely. But we can help you out, kid. We're great at fighting.
Go check the subway. I saw
Yeah, we need to go to the subway anyway.
that lady I mentioned.
Legendary abs.
Thanks, kid. We'll set this right. You just stay here and, keep thinking happy thoughts.
I would never.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, that's not his thing. Happy thoughts are not his thing. Even
Like,
I
what
could figure that.
What emo thoughts could that kid be having?
The price of sushi is too expensive.
Okay, so we have to go up, but... Okay, I do want to go back and go down. Because I have no healing items. Because I know I got a feeling we got a boss fight coming.
Okay. Okay, let's see if we can recruit this guy.
Alright, I'll let you deal with him while I deal with the rest of these numbnuts. If I don't explode... Oh, he's dead. Alright. Yeah, recruiting them is a pain in the ass. But the instant I hear that sound, like... Whatever. Okay, the instant you hear that sound, they're dead.
Okay.
I am what you call a contributing member to society. Yeah, this is the shop I want to go into. The one that's inside of a shipping crate. Well, you just sent them.
Purchase something.
Alright, so I feel like hay loss is also kind of expensive.
Okay.
I'll buy the grapples.
Yeah, because grapples are worth it, because it's like 40% without any change to the cost. And then everything else like goes up in a price, and it's like, eh. Like, look at that. It goes $350 for an extra 5%, and then another like 6.5.
I did get a luck stat increase. Ow. Okay, I'm just gonna speed run to the subway. We're at a point where I think our level is more than enough. I don't want to be grinding forever.
Okay, okay. Zeebs, Grant, you have one question left in 65 words until I hit the maximum I'm doing it. The assignment will be finished on time. Yes! Let's go!
I do hate...
We all gotta lock in.
I do hate the fact, though, like, going to uni and doing your assignments, instead of plagiarism now, it's just about how much of your assessment is AI generated.
Oof, yeah, no, I had a friend, but, like, it was about, like, maybe, like, 3 years ago, like, before AI got as, like, you know, prevalent as it did, and they went and did some... Oh, wow, there's, like, a weird gap.
I know, right?
Yep, he's dead. Like... Yeah, around about like 3 or 4 years ago, he got a uni degree, and like he did so much of it. He was like, "Oh yeah, I just shoved it into AI to help me here and there," and I was just like, "Are you fucking serious?" Like, and it was like for some of the easier assignments as well.
I'm like, why would you do that?
Because it's easy. That's like that is the honest thing. Like, why? Like with the uni degree being like so like just prevalent, why the fuck do you have a lightsaber?
I found it.
The fuck you mean you found it?
I found it up there. Time to take to the River City again? Yes. Oh, it makes a funny sound effect.
Neuron firing sound effect, I see.
Oh, I like this thing.
And you're gonna get distracted and not recruit anyone.
Well, we're stage... Okay. This is great. I am... Why don't you have a beam... Why don't you have a beam saber? That's true. Why don't you have one?
It's still pretty dark in here.
It's great. It's sending them. Oh no, my sword broke.
Have to spend my day in a subway.
All right, got to put on that subway surfers for those.
Phoenix right?
Oh no, random NPC. That's how you know who's an NPC, when they look so generic. Yeah, all of the NPCs just look like typical background characters. You know, black hair, non-distinguishing features. Whoa, where did I come from? Okay, into the exploding barrier we go. Hiya! Burn! They're all dying. Who brings a sledgehammer to a freaking... Actually, no. Why am I even asking these things? Ow. Oh, you got health?
Yeah, I got that apple in me.
Okay. I have a wrench.
Oh, what happens if you... No, okay. I was hoping something would happen, but okay.
Well, this subway is completely useless. Why you even come down here when the whole section's blocked off?
The lights weren't on.
The lights weren't... Oh my god.
Oh! Oh, she's a spellbound baller? What?
Legendary abs.
I'll say.
Who are you?
Don't you remember us?
Yeah, we shopped at your store all the time.
Shopped? Can't remember.
She seems less friendly than in our last adventure.
I'll say. Listen, lady, what's with the Yakuza crew? We thought you were one of the good guys.
Good guys?
Ah, so she's having some deja vu.
Confusing the boss.
Shut your face before I shut it
for you, goon.
Yeah, well, okay.
Step aside. I'll take care of these pesky teenagers.
What happened to the customer is always right?
The customers will soon be dead.
Oh, she's speaking full retail.
The customer is always right in matters of taste was the full quote. But everyone
Yes.
thinks the customer is always right is, yeah.
Your life
You're
will
al-
now end.
Yeah, you don't judge a customer's taste, but you will try to help them in whatever they need, even if it's probably not the best thing for them. Okay. I'll eat that grapple. Oh my god! Oh god! What the? Okay. Oh! Alright! Get this weird-ass junk away from me.
Must kill.
Alright. Go, my recruits! Oh my god, can you stop punching me? Okay, let's not... Alright. Yeah, I think it's best we stay on that... Alright. Okay, this is not as bad. Okay, that's not good. Oh my god. Oh! Oh, come on! Really? I got cheap shotted? Yeah, I'm just gonna... Oh, shit. This is not good.
Oh, I have to survive this, do I? Ow.
Come on, let me... I want to come back in. Okay. Oh, okay. So her pattern is... Oh. Let me get good, newbie. I'm trying my best here. I wouldn't attack her while she's doing that.
Ow. And she got me. Alright. We'll just head back to the hideout. Gosh darn. Do we want to call it here? Because it's now been 3... Oh, we're not at the all the way back hideout. We're at this hideout.
We're at this hideout.
Yeah.
Oh, it gave me back 2 grapples. Okay.
Yeah, it gave me back a... Oh, god damn it, I ate.
You ate it, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. And then... We got Thug.
I have 2 schoolboys. 2 schoolboys.
Why do you have 2?
Yeah, I have 2. These entitled jerks love to fight dirty.
Nice. Might want to keep a burger on you just in case. Hi there, Warhorse. Yeah, that's probably the idea.
So what's the plan? You want to call it here and we can go try again next time.
Yeah, I reckon we'll call it here and we'll try again another time. And we'll also try and find a time, because I know I asked you, like, just out of the blue, ooh, pun intended, to, like, play River City Girls with me, or River City Dragons. And, like, you want to, like, do it as, like, more of a collaborative thing rather than, you know, jumping in. So, we'd figure out a day to do it together and what have you.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and meanwhile, next week is going to be a bit of a weirdy week because I will be gone for a long weekend doing some other stuff. I shall be going through a little camping trip with my girlfriend, so I won't be at my PC for from Friday to Monday next week.
That's fine. I'm gonna be doing my own thing. I got JRPGs and cooking mama to deal with.
Fair enough. Time for shenanigans. Yes, so best of luck with your assignments there, Artemis. I'll see how I am, like, energy-wise in the next, like, 30 minutes, but I am going to call the stream here. So, before all of you run away, however, let's go and see who is online and who we can go and raid. So, I wonder... Alright, so the people recommended to me is Psych Celeste, Roy, Jarrett Hart. It doesn't look like there's anyone playing some River City, It doesn't look like there's anyone playing the River City game and what have you. So, let's just go for... Let's go for Dazarus. They're a partner streamer, and they have been doing... They go on for, like, long ass hours. It's absolutely incredible. So I highly recommend checking them out. If you are subscribed... We're gonna go with our short and sweet himbo raid. If you are not subscribed, that is okay. You're welcome to use whatever other kinds of emotes you want. Here's the blank message for those of you. And... So close, pretty sure I've hit minimum, so I'm just wrapping it up now. All good, Artemis. Glad to hear that you're getting so much done with the assignment, and you'll have a much better time dealing with the next ones that come along your way, and I reckon you'll smash through those too. But yeah, for everyone else, thank you everyone who came along to tonight's stream. I greatly appreciate it. Blue, thank you for joining in with me for the River City Girls 2 game. We'll figure out a time to play it together, either on stream or something or other. And for everyone else, I hope you all have a good morning, afternoon, evening, night, wherever you are. I will be back online Friday night to play some Subnautica 2 because there's so much I haven't done there, and we haven't yet hit the end of the early access content available to us. So if I don't see you Friday night, I hopefully will see you all next time. Bye for now. Bye-bye, chat.
Bye.
Bye. Remember our raid message. Bye.